What is going on, everybody? How you doing? Happy Friday. Here's another episode of the IE podcast. Having a good time. Hope you are enjoying having a great week. Hope you got all your packages and all your great toys open up now and join us tonight. Um, not too much going on for me, I should say. Did have a rough week, I'm not gonna lie, but hey, the Friday's here, weekend's about to start, so it's about to be hopefully a better weekend and a better next week. Some days off, but hey, we're here. We made it through the week. We're good to go. Nothing really big, so let's just go ahead and get started. I will bring in my guest. He's always in the chat somewhere, lurking around. One cool dude who I play PlayStation with every once in a while. Mr. Johnni Kok. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Dante?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Really good. Really good.
I'm losing my mind.
Just trying to stay warm.
I'm losing my
mind. Just trying to stay warm.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's been cold here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's going on, Don? What's going on? Unboxing Art here in the chat, hanging with us.
I can turn this on.
So, Johnny, how's it feel to be on the show? Because you're always in the chat, but now you're actually here.
Mm-hmm. It's weird being on this side of the camera. I have a face now. I'm not just, some fragmented words on a little scrolling thing.
Well, I mean, like, people love your art. Like, I mean, you got to give the people what they want.
Mm-hmm.
You got some dessert, you got some Batman behind you.
I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Berserk except for what things look like and what I've learned on a bunch of various YouTube essays. Because so many people over the last 2 years be like, yo, look good in your art style? Berserk. I'd be like, that's one of the guys with a really big sword, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I love Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I thought you're a Berserk fan. I'm like, yo, Johnny knows. He's like, nope.
I watched many hours of video essays on it because, it's fan art, so I want to be able to communicate a little with the fans too, right? But with that being said, I don't think I will try to read Berserk. It's a little bit too dark and heavy for my personal taste.
Yeah. Berserk is super heavy. Sorry. Yeah, Berserk is super heavy. It is very dark in the beginning. And towards the end of this a certain arc, I think it's arc 3.
Oh yeah.
It's I think arc 3 is when it starts man, you just see everything just kind of yeah, what's going on? But yeah, it is
the is that before or after Casca gets that special moment?
That is after.
Okay.
Yeah. That is it. Yeah, that's after that, that's when it's man, you just feel sorry for everybody at that point. Yeah, that's
it's really funny how I almost use it like a litmus test on people, because lots of people come and grab guts, but if someone comes up and just wants to get a Griffith, I'm like, are you secretly a bad person?
If anybody tells you that Griffith did nothing wrong, yes. just okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll draw this and you don't come back. Just don't come back.
Yeah, I'll just take your 25. You be gone. You be gone. You're making me uncomfortable.
Exactly. Let's see what we got. We got Robert Diaz trying to spell AOA. I see what you're trying to do, Rob. Stop. Just stop with the nonsense. We got Toy Chase here. What's going on? Bart, what's up? We got AO Mecca.
Yeah, that's actually one of my friends. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Welcome. And we got Mark Rose. What's going on? Greg, what's going on? What's happening? Matt Logic 44. What is happening, everybody? Well, glad to see everybody here hanging with us. So, I'm sorry, Shrine 2. What's going on, Shrine? I'm sorry, I missed you. It says Griffith is a questionable soul. I agree with you.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that are questionable.
I'm just gonna draw
So
pretty
Johnny,
pictures. That's it.
so Johnny, tell us a little bit how you got into drawing art, and we got you into collecting, and we kind of started from there for you.
I mean, drawing art. I was like that artist kid, the classroom artist, very often, and then kind of stopped when I hit junior high because I picked up the guitar instead, so my bandwidth could only obsess about one thing at a time. And then as an adult, I realized it was really hard to try to get a band going. And what can you do alone? You can draw by yourself. And at that time, I was
Right.
living in an apartment, and electric guitars at 2 a.m. in apartments, neighbors don't like that.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you with the art. I feel you like it. Mine came like earlier, but it was a little bit later. And it's kind of like dropped off of it, and then that's how I got into IT. And this is whole nonsense from there.
Hmm.
But so after you started drawing, like what made you like start going to conventions to like saying, hey, I'm really gonna put my art out there for everybody to see.
So I really got hard into it because of comics, and in the early 2000s, ended up on a message board when I started drawing again, and that message board was from a company called Aspen, and it was one of those where a lot of their artists and writers at the time would actually frequent the message boards and interact with us.
Mhm.
And at some point, I was like, this whole art thing sounds really cool. And I got to meet one of them, and I was like, I want to give it a shot. As a kid, I remember being like a fourth grader telling people, I want to be a penciler when I grow up. And then, the aunties at church, like, what? You want to sell pens? I'm like, no, penciler, not pen seller. But yeah, I started doing conventions in 2012. I went to San Diego for my first convention to do portfolio reviews. Got a lot of good feedback. They gave me the critiques, tell me what to get better on, but didn't get anything signed. Hit up a few more shows, and even got a second chat with one of the Marvel guys, which really got me hyped. But I still went home from
Oh, dope.
Seattle with no contract or anything. And I realized, everyone can tell you good things, and the editors probably mean it, but until you sign on the dotted line, it's just good for my heart. That's it, right?
Right. Oh, well, that's dope. Like, you look, I was a Aspen fan when Michael Turner was there. Like his drawings were like hands down like freaking amazing. So I loved his stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, but man, like to have that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, at least
So
you got to the point where they reviewed it for you, and even though you didn't get to sign the dotted line, at least you got the chance to like say, "Hey, look, here's my work. This is what I can do."
mhm. Yeah,
That's
I
dope.
know. In terms of that, my biggest regret was being too intimidated to approach Marvel and DC that first San Diego, because I was just like, no, they're too big. There's no way I have a shot, right? But whatever.
But some of the artists that
Life
they
goes
hire,
on.
yeah. But some of the artists that they hire, I mean, and at this point, I even might have a shot at drawing some of the stuff. Like, the way they be drawing. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nah.
So in terms of, oh, sorry.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So the transition to conventions actually happened. I mean, as someone who sells art prints at art in Artist Alley, the last convention I went to with portfolio reviews, I had a friend who was there in Calgary with a publisher. And I was just like, hey, I drive to this show. You don't have to eat downtown. Like, we'll take you to this amazing seafood steakhouse place. Like, I got a car. We're good. We're good. And she asked me that Saturday afternoon, like, do you have any more room in your vehicle? Because like, can two of my friends come along? And I was like, yeah, sure thing. So one of them is actually, I'm not going to name him, but one of them is actually a cover artist that does a lot of stuff for a lot of indie companies and a lot of Kickstarters. And yeah, so him and his unfortunately then wife, like they hopped on board. We went to, I believe the place was called Brooks. You know, had our fish and chips and steaks and whatnot. And he was just telling me everything that he was doing. And the light bulb hit me. I was like, yeah, like I've heard stories about editorial nightmares and brand new comic book pencilers generally don't make very much. But what you're saying sounds really interesting, right? So the next morning, I was like, okay, I have to find him at the con. So I was like wandering around the artist alley, and I finally found his booth set up. And I was like, hey, how's it going? And then, we do have pleasantries. And then I look up at his display, and I don't mean to throw any shade at him, but this was my initial internal response was, wait, you made that much with that? I think I can do better. So, after that seed was planted, probably within that month, I found out my local show tables were already going up for sale. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a table, and we'll see how it goes. And I spent like the next 6-7 months just making new art to do art prints and stuff. And I was very fortunate that I was able to find an audience relatively quickly.
Nice. Well, I'm happy for you, man. Congratulations. Even though it's been a while, but congratulations. I'm glad that you found that niche that you were like, yo, I can do this. So if they can do it, I can do it too. It's nothing for me. You know who I am, Johnny. Real quick, we got some questions here.
Okay.
Go back a little bit here.
You weren't kidding about the delay on YouTube.
Let's see. Yeah, Greg thinks this is like a Gundam show for some reason. I don't know what. Greg, it's not a Gundam show. I'm sorry. Maybe next time. Ao Mecca asks, what is your favorite character or subject to draw the most when you're starting out?
Wait, like starting out when I first started, or like when I'm starting out for the day?
I'm not sure. Yes. What do you mean by that, Mecca?
Yeah, Ariel. Let me know, Ariel.
Let's see. Robert Diaz talking about not great company to be in. What, Aspen? What's wrong with Aspen? I don't know.
Yo, those guys are cool. Like they work hard, but yeah, no, they've been very nice to me anyway.
Yeah. See, there you go. Claudia says, yeah, Aspen message board OG. Oh wow. So you got some OG fans in here. Oh, Mecca says, like old school, like when you first started.
Oh shit. When I first started, I actually was not doing art that looked anything like this, because like now it's all the brush ink stuff and the very high contrast. I don't know if you can do it on your end, but if you were to Google my name and then type Magical Drop Zone Princess, and then on another search window my name and Gogs and Gears, because I started off doing mashups basically.
Let's see. What was the first one you said?
Magical Drop Zone Princess.
Let's see. Magical.
Yeah, I did a lot of mashup stuff when I first started doing conventions.
Okay. On Tumblr or Pinterest?
Yeah. Either or works. I know I posted on Tumblr personally back then, but yeah.
All right, let me see. Pull this up here. And then I can do this. Okay. No, I'm not going to take a chance on that right there. There you go. I guess I got to scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, gonna have to go.
It's not like
those were newer pieces. Yeah, okay. You're hitting around there now. Yeah, where it just looks like actual, like just traditional line art inks.
Tumblr.
You gotta log in. You gotta give them your deets.
Yeah, but Tumblr wants to. Yeah. I don't want to.
Well, they have to protect. They have to protect you from the Nigerian prince. Okay.
I'll take the free money that they're giving out. Oh goodness, I have to make a full account. Okay, yeah. We'll see if
I was hoping you could just
Pinterest is
pull it on
good.
like a Google image search or something like that.
I probably can. That'd probably be easier. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
So any of these?
I
Is
mean,
it
I'm
this
looking
one?
at tiny, but the whole top row I think is mine except for the second picture. No, and not that one, not that one.
Hold
Go to
on.
the yeah,
Not
not that one's not mine. I just got dumped in there because of the whole princess mashup thing.
got you.
Yeah.
This one?
Go one more over. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see.
Of course
Visit
it's dinky.
without.
Of course it's dinky. But yeah, like it was that kind of stuff when I started out. So that was my sci-fi gun totem take on
Gotcha.
Cinderella. I'm amazed at how many people have bought it for like little girls' nurseries.
That's dope. I still like it. Hey, look. If people love stuff, they'll buy it. There's certain like art that I love buying. Like if it's Spider-Man, count me in. I'm there. But I do. I kind of have to like be like, yeah, like it has to be like a certain like way that's drawn. Because if it's like, I'm like, nah. Like I want to support you, but that's not. I was just like, sometimes the art, I'm just not feeling it.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's art. You love what you love. It's subjective, and you go with that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just feel bad. I'm like, yeah, like I want to buy this print, but just can't. Just not feeling it. Like I don't know where I'll put it, and I'll be mad. I'll be more mad
I
if I
mean,
bought it.
why do you buy art from artists in conventions? You love the art because you love the character. In the case of fan art, you love the style,
Exactly.
or you like or you like the person standing behind the table, and you want to make sure that they can feed their dog.
Yep. Like this. I'll buy this in a heartbeat because it's Gundam.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love me some
Yeah.
Gundam. Like this is what I'm looking for. I'm like, yeah. I don't. You know what was weird? A lot of people do not do enough Gundam pieces.
It's because a lot of people don't like drawing robots.
That figures.
I mean, I can
That
cheat because
figures.
like I have a lot of like abstract shapes, so I can kind of cheat. But if
Right.
you're doing traditional line art, it's a lot of very stiff shapes that you have to put together.
Still, I like to see some more Gundam. It'd be nice, every once in a while, give me some Gundam. Like, hey, there's some Gundams.
I mean,
Mecca says, "What's a Gundam?"
yeah, he's trolling. That's my boy. He trolls. He trolls all the time.
I figured because I'm like, nobody who has a name AO Mecca doesn't know what a Gundam is. Like, nah, there's just no way. There's no way. I don't believe that for a second. Let's see. Well, man, I missed a lot of chats here. All right, let me go back here. No, Robert. My home. He said, "Homie has a." So this is what he said about you. He said, "The homie has a shot at Marvel. They hired Rob Liefeld and Dante's best friend, Toddy Mack. Toddy Mack is not my best friend. Let's get that straight again. We are not friends.
Dude,
Not
let him
friends
be
at
your
all.
best
Not
friend.
even
Let him be your
close.
best friend. Think of the
No,
access passes
no,
you'll get. The access passes, man. And then you get to go to New York,
no.
go through all the lines, and you'd be like, no, the Todd father knows me. I mean, the guy draws capes
Look,
like
let me
paper
tell you.
planes. That's awesome.
I'm like, look, Todd. I got a guy who can help you draw. Todd. His name's Johnny. Listen, Ken. He'll help you out. He's got you. He can help you
No,
out.
no, no, dude. Like, all seriously, I actually do have a soft spot for Todd. Like, the Spawn cape is probably part of the reason why my fabric is very angular. A lot of the time, it did rub off on me. But in terms of
I'm good with his work.
actual but in terms of people who really rubbed off on me, like growing up as a kid, like Jim Lee was a huge influence when I was a kid. But then I realized actually who's a bigger influence than me because he drew X-Men longer than Jim did was I should know the name. He took over after Image was started. Andy Kubert. I actually stared at Andy Kubert
Oh, yeah.
art a lot longer than Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Andy Kubert. I loved his artwork.
Yeah,
Um,
that Gambit rope like jumping for the hug kiss cover. So good.
yes.
So good.
Uh, Robert says I never made fun of an artist because I can't draw. I don't make fun of artists. I'm not making fun of artists. Like certain art, it has to like even when I get a comic, like the art has to trap me with the story. The art can take me out. It could be a great story, but the art can take me right out of it
Mm-mm.
because it's like you have to. It has to look appealing to for me to the eye to go with the story. I'm like, all right, so okay, this matches up. Like you can feel like, all right, so what the writer's putting down, the artist is laid out for you in the boxes. Like okay, in the panels, like all right,
Uh,
cool, like this is great. Sometimes
Actually,
like that
talking
art's
about
not
comics and
great.
stuff, I'm so glad
Yeah,
that when we were kids, the cover artist and the interior artist was like 9 out of 10 is the same guy. Whereas now it's
yeah,
they're farming that stuff out to everybody that has a reputation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like now it's just like, hey, you got 7 different like covers and like 4 different interior artists like every time. Like, yeah, this artist like, yeah, I'm leaving this after this issue, and then so and so's taking over, and everybody's like, well, why is so and so taking over? Like, they're not great.
Yeah. Like I mean, as a kid, one thing I hated. Do you remember those like Marvel annuals? And they have like six
Yes.
stories in them. And I hated how like
Mhm.
everyone have a new artist because like, and it would always be a dilemma because like the best story would have the worst art sometimes, and just be like, oh, this was so fun, this cool thing happened, but this Wolverine looks like ass compared to the one 2 chapters ago.
Exactly. That's my problem with them. Like, yo, so I'm not making fun of artists. I'm just saying like certain art has to grip me with the story. Greg says masters can be really cool. The Berserk talk made my mind do a mashup, Horseman of Apocalypse and Berserk Apostle / God Hand. That could be crazy.
Oh wow,
That would be dope.
that's like some Giga Brain stuff almost, right?
Yeah. Greg says that Cinderella has a Gundam Wing Peacecraft and Trey's faction vibe. Trey?
Uh, I think I know what they're meaning behind that. Yeah.
Rob says, can you pull up that Sailor Mars fan art? This man wants some Sailor.
I mean, in her outfit, she looks like she has the longest legs, man. So I don't blame them. That long dark hair,
uh,
fiery red.
is that?
I believe she's a shrine maiden, so it's like the Japanese equivalent of a nun.
Here he is saying Sailor Mars is awesome. Okay, so you know what? I'm not going to fault you on that, Rob. I did like Sailor Mars. Sailor Mars was one of my favorite ones from that group, so I'm not going to fault you on that because I was a fan of the planet Mars as a kid. I was obsessed with
Mm.
Mars. So yeah, so Sailor Mars, I will not fault you for that. And here's Dom chiming in with this nonsense. Thanks, Dom. Thanks, Dom. I thought we were friends, Dom. Heidi Mack is no, he's not my adopted father. Okay.
You know,
He's not.
maybe he'll let you take a rip in his Bentley. I don't know what he drives.
Sharon says not enough mecha drawings, huh? I might have to add some of my future art projects. Love mecha. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's not a lot. I don't see a lot of mech drawings out there. I see like this, the ones that everybody loves, like Batman, Superman, like all
Hmm.
the Marvel, all DC anime. But it's never like, hey, somebody's drawing a dang blasted good Gundam over there, or hey, I love that mech. Nah, you never see that. No mega,
So
very rarely Megazords you see.
I'm actually thinking about that. I'm thinking about that. I bought the Super 7 Super Cyborg special black and gold Megazord last May,
I did see that.
and yeah, that thing's pretty cool. So I might do one. But if anybody finds any of my booths at a convention next year, um, I finished a Robotech piece. So we've got Roy Flocker's
Ooh.
Valkyrie. I did one of those. That will debut next year. And then I just finished a Gundam Barbados Lupus. I am in the middle of working on the Strike Gundam right now, and I'm debating whether I'm going to do the Freedom or the Unicorn next for Gundams. Oh, and I'm also going to do all three of the Evas for next year. The Evangelions.
Hold on. I got some. So we can go ahead and just do these two while we're at it. You just go ahead and put these together and just do these two for a buck. Like look, they're like bam, like hey, there's my Mercury Witch.
You a big fan of the Ariel?
Yes, that's the I forget which one this one. I think this is the neuro one.
Oh, the rebuild. Yeah, with the jetpack, right? Yeah, no, that one looks really cool. Yeah, the only thing that disappointed me with that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say like this one is I feel like is a better build than most of the ones that I put together.
Are you a big fan of the fact that the new Witch from Mercury kits don't have the poly caps and stuff like that on the joints?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they probably feel a lot more closer to like that traditional action figure feel to you.
They do. They really do. Like I was saying with the Flame Toys, like Transformer ones, I built Devastator. Hands down, one of the best ones I built. Like I love it.
Okay.
I'm like super in love with it. Greg says, Johnny, who amongst the X-Men is your favorite character to draw, and what costume version, if you can name it?
I don't want to say it because it was like my fourth grade crush, but it'd be Psylocke in that blue bodysuit, man, with the purple red slash. Side blade on one side, katana on the other. Taught me how to feel.
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
And if I had to choose another, Rogue or Storm after that. And then Storm, like all her looks just look amazing. All of Storm's looks are good. Even when she's wearing jeans and missing most of her hair, she looks amazing.
Exactly, yo. Storm is like one of those characters that no matter how you draw her, she still looks good. Rob asks, what does Johnny think of the best lady in Marvel, Domino?
Domino is cool. I've not read enough stuff with her in it, so I've not personally invested. And I know she wasn't at one point, wasn't she like an imposter the whole time? Like the one we had seen in the early X-Force? Like I think that was someone who was pretending to be Domino. But I mean, I think she got together with Cable at some point, so good enough for Summers.
Greg says, well, annuals and specials are expected using more artists, but yeah, the highly variable art styles can be really annoying. Stratton says, real artists know how to take a punch in the face of criticism. And he also says, Sailor Jupiter was his girl.
I mean, that she's athletic. She's the tallest.
Yeah.
Actually, Sailor Jupiter is probably my best seller. Like it's Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Moon, which are usually the top sellers for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with Rob. Like I'm still a Sailor Mars girl. Like I'm still a Sailor Mars fan of hers. Sailor Mars is like I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's a name. I don't know. Greg says, "Hey, all be warned. Mecha talk. Voltron is leaving Netflix on December 6th. Yes, on December 6th. DreamWorks is pulling. No one knows where it's going yet. Yes.
Oh wow.
It was a great show too. I love that.
I need to finish that still. I need to finish it. I've only watched the first season.
Yeah, I think I didn't make it the last season. I didn't watch yet.
Wait.
But yeah, it's so amazing. Like it's good. It's right on par with the original Voltron series. So
I don't actually have a strong memory of the original Voltron. Like my strongest memory of Voltron is Peter Cullen narrating the intro, and then the music, of course.
Then we might have to do a watch party because I do have the original Voltron.
Nice.
AOA Mecha. Oh man. Thanks to Rob, make me think of AOA. AO Mecha asks, will you do all the Barbados forms?
No. I've done the first one, and I've now just done the second one. Like I think there's 6 or 7 forms total. before he gets to Lupus Rex. So
Really?
yeah, Lupus Rex is so
He just
cool.
says, "Boo, do it, do them all."
See, the thing is, I know what he sounds like, so I can hear that, like just coming through my headset.
Boo,
And then,
do them
if I end up
all.
in his apartment, he's gonna like throw a pillow at me.
This is nice, Arrow. Did you get the Cosmo lights for it? No, I did not. With this, it's weird because like with the stickers, it almost looks like there's lights in there. Hold on, let me block that a little bit. But with like you can see like where the red's at, it looks like there's those are stickers, but it looks almost like lights in there.
Hmm.
So I didn't really go for lights on it.
Now, the only thing that I miss with the non-polycap designs is all the Witch from Mercury stuff I've built they don't have the double jointed elbows. But it's got a deep cut. They go pretty high, but yeah, that was the only thing I missed about those.
Yeah, it's really like this one is really nice. I do like this one. And actually, I'm waiting for it to hopefully come in soon when they get it. Hobby Link Japan had the Berserk armor model kit,
Okay.
which I was really surprised that was even being done. So I can't wait to get that in and have it to build.
I mean, it's fully metal plated anyway, so it's not like they have to try to figure out how to do flesh for that.
Right.
And I mean, they do have fleshy model kits too, between the waifu ladies and the Dragon Ball Z stuff. So.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen those or messed with those. Actually, I've probably seen them, but I just never messed with them.
Have you heard of I believe it's called 30-Minute Sisters, because it's like an offshoot of the 30-minute bills. So it's like cute anime girls with like cyborg armor plates.
So I know the 30-minute missions, but I never heard of 30-minute girls. Yeah, I'd never seen those, unfortunately. We got Art G in the house. What's going on, Art?
Hey, Art.
Greg says, Johnny, finish it. It's such a good show. Sure, it has its moments that are over top, but it's a solid show. It may move to Peacock, Disney, or Hulu. That's the theory.
Yeah, I think I left off when original Black Line pilot Shiro, right? That was his name.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So where I left off was when he disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the last thing I remember seeing.
Don says Dante wants that cameo with the medical grade silicone. No, I don't even know what that is, but no, I'm good on that. I am good on that. The Jada Toys is good enough for me. Greg says, Johnny, if you can make a perfect Gundam season, what suits would you put in it? Say 6 suits.
6 suits. My dream. Okay, so I'm probably going to mostly be picking them from an aesthetic standpoint. I'm going to have the Red Astray with the katana. I want the Strike Noir. Barbados Lupus Rex.
Ooh.
God Gundam.
Yes.
Unicorn.
Yes.
And then just because it will look so out of place, but I want it to be on the same team, it will be a Dom. And then it'll be piloted by Vin Diesel. So we have Dom's Dom.
Well, we're family. We're family Gundams. Yeah. We're family.
Yeah.
We fly together.
And then the Gundam will have like a 100 gear stick shifter in there. Just every time you go fast, you just push it again.
Lord.
And a NOS button. Gotta have a NOS button.
AO Mecha says I built a few 30 minutes sisters, 30 minutes sisters, and I agree with Bartley are good. Okay. I'll just take a look into those. And Greg says Shiro disappeared at the end of season 2, so that's probably where you're at. Season 2.
Oh, okay. So I finished season 2. Okay. Cool.
Mega says they're all melee Gundams. Nice. All right.
I mean,
Rob wants to
you
know,
want to see their fear.
Right.
Sorry.
Rob says, ask, can you draw Sakura? Because he's so obsessed with Sakura.
Are we talking about Street Fighter Sakura?
Yes.
She is on my to-do list. So for next year, I should have a Sakura, Juri, and Cammy. For next year, I should have those 3. So
there you go, Rob.
Yeah. So if you're at MegaCon, she should be there.
See, there you go. Yes, Greg, God Gundam. Yo, G Gundam was a show that was kind of like a racially insensitive. It was
when you
a
think
great
about
show.
So was Street Fighter 2 and half of the Neo Geo games. So it's a product of its time. We've gone forward, but they did their best.
Yeah, like I'm not mad. I'm like, look, it was a good show. I'm like, hey, look, Burning Hand was great. Like I love that Burning Hand. Like,
Just don't ever look at someone straight in the eyes and go shining finger. Just never say that to anybody, especially if you don't know them. Has to be like someone you know really well, like Ariel at Aomeka.
Exactly.
I can say that to him. Hey, Ariel, shining finger, coming right at you.
Oh man. Art says let's all go to MegaCon. I don't even know where MegaCon's at. Where is MegaCon?
That one's in Orlando. It'll be in Orlando early February.
Okay.
Then you can go hit up Universal and Disney World after, and boom, full vacation there.
Well, that's one thing, because like I want to go to Universal when they have the new Mario Park done.
I think my friend there said it was just finished, or it'll be ready by the time I get there. Yeah.
So okay, so February. Okay, if it's done by February, then yeah, I'm might be a nice little trip.
I mean, it'd be great to meet you for the first time in person. I assume I will have seen you in Toronto first time, but
I would love to go across the border to Toronto. I got to plan that trip out just like I would to plan San Diego out. Like that's just like, okay, I'm going to stay here for a little bit, relax, have a good time, see what's going on around here. Yeah, it's just not like, hey, let's all up and go. I like to plan. I wanted that one. I would like to definitely plan. I would like to.
I mean, I don't know how close you are with Kevin, but if he lets you crash in his toy room, you get to use that awesome American dollar against our Canadian currency. You'll be eating like a king for cheap.
I'm like, yo, Kevin, like, why you got 6 more bags than you came in with? I don't know, Kev, but I gotta go. This is great staying here with you. It was great meeting your family. I'm like, baby, where my toys at? Gotta go. I gotta go.
You just took all his empty boxes. That's it.
That is true. Like, look, I took all these boxes for you. You didn't need them anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and take them for you. Let's see. We got Disavow saying, "What's up, all? What's going on, Disavow?"
That's Tim, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is Tim.
He's such a chill guy.
Let's see. He is. Tim is an awesome dude. Tim is so awesome. So long with this gentleman here, Mr. Matthew, saying hello. What's going on, Matthew?
So is Matthew a whole screen thing, or is it like a smart play on like Matthew?
You know what? That is a good question. I don't know. We have to ask him. Matthew, can you explain? Because that is a good question. That's a good
I don't know, because I know every time I've seen him on streams, everyone just calls him Matthew. I never hear like a normal first name ever blurted out at him, so I'm just wondering. Maybe it's a secret. So
yeah.
If it is, that's fine.
Yeah. He's like, nobody knows. Shh. And then
his real name is
you with like some chloroform. Exactly. Comes up with some chloroform, like, Now you'll never know again. Oh, he says.
Okay. How's it going, Brad?
Say Matthew. Nice. Okay. I learned something new tonight. See, there you go. No, man, what's going on? Is that my Shirinu from SNK Fatal Fury King of Fighters.
Oh, the one that's on screen around? No, that's Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's what I thought. Okay, I thought it was from the Last Airbender. And you know what's funny? I never watched Avatar: Last Airbender. Had no
That's
interest
okay.
in it.
That's okay.
I knew
There's
who.
so
I
much
knew
stuff
she.
out there. There's so much stuff out there.
Right.
You have to pick and choose your time, man. So I don't blame you. I would like you to watch it, but I'll never try to make you do it.
I will try. Kirby Kai tuned into Waste Stream tonight and asked Matthew. But we got the answer now. Kirby, appreciate it. We got the answer. He gave us the answer that we needed. Man, Beast Boy, what's going on? Oh man, Art says that's a thick Filipino accent. Oh my goodness, I can't deal with y'all like tonight. So
I love that accent, man. It makes me feel at home. It's not because I'm Filipino. It's just I know a lot of Filipino people, and yeah.
Gotcha.
And boy, do these guys know good food? Whew. I've never met one that didn't have good taste.
All right, so if I make it down to MegaCon, you gotta know where the good food is. As simple as
well,
that.
That's up to
So
RG and Matthew, right?
I don't know if Matthew's gonna make it down there. Art might. Art's rich. Art's got money. He's got money like that. He's got his own. Art's got his own private jet. Don't let him fool you.
I mean, that's what the G stands for, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Got money. RG got that money. That's what the G stands for. You are right, sir. You are very much right. So, Johnny, what is it that you collect now? And what's got you starting collecting what you're collecting now?
Oh, jeez. Keep me on track, especially if I start rambling. But do you want to just do my whole introduction to adult toy tuber thing and all that, and that got me to turn that collector part of my brain back on?
Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, whatever you like to tell us.
Okay, so during the that thing in 2020 that made us all stay at home for a long time, I started watching a lot of YouTube, and now YouTube is like my most used form of entertainment, I think. And during the whole thing, at some point, the algorithm started feeding me toy stuff. So I did start off with like Pixel Dan, Toy Galaxy, and then Retro Blasting popped up. And he was doing a bunch of live streams, and that's actually how I found your channel, because he was a guest on your show back then. And then that's when I started following you. And then, as of course YouTube just keeps showing you stuff, and that's how I found guys like Toy Anxiety, Geek Jack Live, and all your friends basically, right? And but being that the way I earned my living was to travel to places and then be put in a room with tens of thousands of people. Like, I wasn't doing any of that, so that helped me in check for at that time, because I was in survival mode, right? So while you guys were talking about all the crazy pre-orders you were doing, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get any of these Marvel Legends and whatnot. And at that time, it seemed like everything had to be pre-ordered, and then you just pray to God that it shows up within a year. And as things started opening up, and then I was traveling again, I was like, okay, I'm still watching these guys. And actually, tell you the truth, toys was a minor thing. I mostly loved the live streams where you could tell it's a group of friends just kind of shitting on each other and then talking about toys. That's my favorite style, not just the news. Yeah.
Right.
But so when things started opening up again, I remember like I picked up some DC Direct stuff, like the Batman animated series things. And then in terms of like interesting looking toys, I bought some Fortnite figures, and I was enjoying it. But my thing was, I tend to usually be a very all or nothing person. And I could not touch the traditional 6-inch action figures, like with a lot of the lines you guys are going through, because there's just so many Marvel Legends out there. And if I was missing something from that wave, I would be sad. Or if there was a really bad figure in that Build-A-Figure wave, I'm like, I will always have resentment towards that one guy. Like, I only bought you because I needed this guy's leg, So that kind of like kept me in check a little bit. But eventually I realized the kind of toys I like are toys that very much blatantly look like toys. So, I'm not looking for the super articulate things generally, except for like the Jada Street Fighter ones are the only ones I'm currently picking up. So I tend
Okay.
to lean more on the things that actually look like old toys but aren't old toys, because I don't need to have GI Joe crotches blowing out on me from like 40-year-old plastic. But yeah, so I'm actually buying a lot of vinyl stuff right now.
Yeah, I noticed that, especially with the like Godzilla stuff. I think you've been posting, which has been really cool. It's like really cool to look at. I like those. Like they look awesome. Even because even though they're not like super articulate, it's something that you enjoy and that you like that makes you feel that you're happy with, and
Yeah,
that's great and that's awesome. I more power to you
like for
because you have
me,
more power than most of us.
like when I look at the really articulated stuff, like don't get me wrong, I love my Jada Street Fighters and the Mega Man figures I bought. But I remember when I was
Mhm.
playing with those Fortnite figures, and even like when you look at some Gundams that have so many articulate pieces, especially the ones with the obnoxiously large backpacks, you make a cool pose, and if you try to make them stand up straight again, it's almost a lot more work to try to make them stand up straight,
Yeah.
because you just got so many joints flopping all over the place, right? Whereas like, this guy's it. His head turns and his arms go up and down. That's it. So yeah.
Old standby Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, that one's by Attack Peter. Super nice guy. And it's actually, that's another thing that's really cool about the Sofubi is a lot of them have like, individual artists will get to do a little run on something, and it would be so cool. Like, can you imagine if you had a whole wave of Marvel Legends for a season where like, this is the Francis Manapul version, this is the Jim Lee version, this is the, like, I would love that. And if they could actually make their art style look like that in the 3D form, I would be super happy.
Would be dope. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think it's a lot tougher. I sometimes it's a little. I think it's a little bit more easier, like in animation, to try to adapt that style because they do like when DC was making good. Well, I should say that DC was making good animated movies like back in the early 2000s, like especially with
Hmm.
like Superman, Batman. They were coming close to that and to like that comic style that it was being drawn in. I was like, yo, this is like almost like take pages like put on into animation. And I
Yeah,
think they do a really good job of doing that. I think that's something Marvel needs to look at too, or go back to what they had for like Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because that was even like that animation style was great because it's reminiscent of, oh, this kind of looks like Justice League. It has that look to it.
hmm
So yeah, I don't know now figure wise. I don't know how easy or like I want to say I don't know how much of a like almost like one to one it's going to be with that art style. Like if Jim Lee drew it, like it's almost like you
yes.
say like, hey,
Some don't
Life
translate well. Some just don't
right,
translate well.
which
Well,
is
if you had
like
a
kind of like
if
makes
you
me
had a
think of
Liefeld toy, it will never stand up. It just fall over. So
well, which is funny because Bruce Collector made like the two figures from Liefeld, and I was like, okay, it's like all right, I'll buy these. Like they got me with this. I was like, cool, and it's like man, they actually have feet that stand up. Man, that's crazy. That's just wow.
they're actually
But
not
yeah,
standing up. They're actually like hanging on a hook.
that's probably true too. That's probably very true too. Let's see. Greg asks also too. He says, Johnny, not being familiar with the work, are you a pen and paper, mouse and computer, or stylus computer focused artist?
I'm both. So all the blacks are traditional brush ink. So it is a sheet of paper with brush, dipped in the ink. I make those shapes, and then I do my digital painting for the colors. So that part's done in
Okay.
Photoshop. Yeah.
You know, and I've been wanting to ask you this, because it almost looks like you're almost doing like watercolors with this. Like it feels like
I do,
when I look at
okay.
your art, like it feels like it's watercolors.
So I do have a watercolor painting background, and around the time when I first was starting to do the brush ink work, I had. Are you familiar with Rob Duenas? Sketchcraft.
Not
I'm not sure if
too
you.
much, no.
Okay. Anyway, so at that time, he was someone that I used to watch on YouTube a lot, and then like he was one of the first people I saw live streaming while he would draw or paint. And he had this watercolor style that he called saucy, and I was trying to copy that method of coloring on some of my work. But I know some people have pulled it off, but I never figured it out. But whenever I would compare the reproduction of the art print against the real painting, all the little mid-range nuances would get washed right out when you see the print, and that pissed me off to no end. I was like, I know there's so much more here. Why can't I replicate it? So eventually, I just like, you know
Right.
what? Screw this. I'm just going to color in Photoshop because the parameters are in control. Like with what I do, like what I see on screen is closer to what ends up on the print versus what I see in the painting versus what it ends up on the print. And I can control colors on the fly because you can select sections, grab a slider, and turn a section
Yep.
that's blue, slide it over, and make it yellow now or something like that. And the beauty about that
Exactly.
is I will never run out of blue paint in Photoshop. If I run out of blue paint in Photoshop, that means my monitors are screwed up or something like that.
Yeah, I get that. Nah, and that's dope. Like I never thought of it that way because when yeah, and like I said, until I asked you now, like when
Hmm.
I look at it, I would have thought you were doing watercolors because that's how good it looked.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah,
fantastic. Like
and I like messing around with people because like I love it when people at conventions ask me those kind of questions, and then they can't tell where the traditional media ends and the digital work starts. And to me, that means I
right,
did something right. It feels almost kind of like toot my own horn here, but somewhat seamless. And especially in this day now, when a lot of artists, especially, are scared or very angry with AI art, I want stuff that definitely looks like it's got a physical hand that touched it, right? So yeah,
right. Let's see.
these are the only nipples I have in my portfolio. This is Starion.
Matthew says, Johnny, I've seen you on streams, but this is the first time seeing your work, and it's dope.
No, thank you, Matthew. I wish I could
Uh,
send you a super chat right now.
Kirby Kai says, anyone watching that new Gundam show using Unreal Engine to animate really dig the direction, but the animation characters mostly is not great. I have seen it. It's in my watch list. I haven't watched it yet. Have you got a chance to watch it, Johnny?
I don't because I don't actually subscribe to Netflix. So everything I know on mine is through third party. Actually, through A
I
Omega.
don't
Actually,
blame you.
it's the most I.
Yeah, see, like most of my stuff that I do watch, I do have a subscription to the other services, but it's like with it, like I'll say, for example, like Amazon Prime.
Hmm.
Now they're putting commercials into their stuff. So I'm like, no. My friend, like, I'll wait for my friend to upload it on Plex. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it on Plex. Zero commercials. And I'm like watching like all the new movies at the same time. It's like, okay, cool. Like I'm like right now I'm watching Cross, which is really good.
Okay.
I've been enjoying that. Uh, I don't know if you watched this anime. It's called Hell's Paradise. I think it
I
was on
actually
Netflix.
I just watched that about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Man. Woo! I was like, I slept on this anime. I slept on this one. I've been watching this soon because I did not know how good it was. I was like, man, oh man.
Yeah, no, they
Now,
definitely spared no expense on the action scenes.
no, they did not. And I like how they just jumped into it. It wasn't like, hey, here's this long story. They just like, here you
Hmm.
go. Here's this dude. Yeah, they keep trying to kill him. They can't kill him. So they're going to do something. They're going to use him.
So that's
Which is
my only
great.
peeve about it. That whole can't kill him because you know how in the beginning they're showing like he's a prisoner and they're trying to execute him and they keep failing, right? Like swords are
Yeah.
breaking off the back of his neck. They set him on fire. He walks out of it. Only like he just loses a sleeve or something like that. But then once they
Yeah.
get on the island, like he's bleeding now. Like you punch him hard enough, he's like, bleh. He throws up blood. So I know it's anime power scaling, but that did bother me the first time I saw him like cough up blood.
Well, I think because it was conventional weapons. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you can block these conventional stuff. But when it comes to something like that supernatural, like that natural, like, wait a minute, this is an abomination. Like, where did this come from? They're like, yeah, we punch a little bit harder over here on this side of the island.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, they talked
welcome.
about chi and all that. Yeah, so
Right. So if you haven't watched Hell's Paradise, I say give it a watch, please. If you haven't watched it, it's really
yeah.
good. It's really
And
good.
I don't remember what those upper beings are called, but whenever they would like transform back and forth between forms and genders,
Yes.
it's just so trippy. And like when they get like half their head would get chopped off, and then just like things would just grow back. Oh,
Yes.
so creepy.
I don't want to give too much away, but the protege, I was so upset when he got it. I was like, nah, not my man's protege. Like, he's like, I'm going all out. Go ahead, master. He was like, "Pap." Nope, he ain't making it, son. I was like, oh, not the boy, not the boy.
So
He
who's your
kind of,
favorite
he
character in
kind of,
that one at the end?
oh man, I forget the blind guy.
Yeah, blind guy's my
I
favorite.
forget his
Yeah.
name. Yeah, I like him. Uh, the ninja
Hmm.
and, and Gabi Moro.
Okay. Okay. You don't
Yeah,
like Gabimaru's
those two.
handler? She's not in your top three? Is she like
I
really
do.
close fourth?
She's not like she's probably like my top 10, but like not out there like as a top character for me
Okay. Okay.
because she's going through that struggle of like, oh, I'm not good enough, to be with these people, and they keep thinking I'm dead. Like, nah. If you're here, you're here. You made it.
Yeah.
Act like you
No, the
good
only
enough
one that
now.
tripped me up
Like,
is when the show was starting, I thought that she was actually going to be the sleeper main character and Garimaru was the plot
right.
device. That's how I felt when I first started watching it.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah, because they do kind of throw you for a loop for a little bit. But I don't want to give away too much. But I would say watch it because it throws you for a couple twists throughout the show. And then you just be like, didn't see that coming, but okay. Okay. Uh let's see. Do.
Oh, and then one more thing about my art, because I use all those
Yeah,
vertical lines, it's for me it's a way to convey a sense of movement. So, if you were to like blank stare one of my current pieces, just before you went cross-eyed, I'd almost want those vertical lines to feel like the matrix code going up and down.
right. Now I get you. Now I get it. I get it. It does. So when I look at it, it does convey like a sense of movement, like especially with this one here, with the grunt suit. It conveys
Hmm.
like, he's just like he's jumping up, and then you can kind of see like with the red digital, like the red lines and the red circles, like okay, yeah, it's kind of like blood, but it's just like got finished cutting into like another Gundam. So yeah, it does convey that. So I get what you're saying with that as well. Let's see. Do. Tom says, but on Netflix, you can catch a glimpse of my.
So
You know
I didn't
what?
watch
I,
it.
I
I didn't
honestly,
watch it.
honestly, I missed that part. I did watch the fights, but I missed that whole part. I might like probably tuned out somewhere. Like I was like, whatever. Um, but yeah, like it was something. All right, it was
I mean,
something.
the impression I got is you saw the loading circle more than people boxing. That's the impression I got.
It was the last fight. It was like everybody turned on. Like the first fight was trash. It was just
Okay.
like a stupid fight. It should have been on there. Second fight was okay. Now I'm getting into some boxing. The
Hmm.
women's match, they went toe to toe. To me, that was the best match of the whole night. They had the best match. The one, I think it was her name was Serrano. She got robbed in the match, but it was a good match. She truly got robbed, but it, it, it's boxing. Who's not getting robbed? Nathan
That's
Kenny
unfortunate.
says, "Hello from the other side for a change, Johnny. Great show, guys. Thank you. You're welcome, Nathan."
So Nathan's actually one of the hosts for another one of those early YouTube channels I adopted during the tail end of COVID, Fans of Power. So he actually gives me a
Okay.
special hello when they go through the chat. So usually another guy, Joe, he will go through everyone that's in there that posted in the comments, and then when it gets to my name, like Joe will look at and he'll be like, "Say it, Nathan," and then he'll say my name, but as Vince McMahon.
Oh, he'd be like, Johnny Kok. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that's my
and then
bad.
and then sometimes he'll do a little roar, a tiny little roar at the end.
I probably should read like the rest of these like in Vince McMahon. Let's see how far I can make it.
No, I want you to do the guy, the put in pop ads. I haven't heard you do that in a long time.
Try to get me canceled on you. All right, just for you, John. I will do it just for you. All right.
Lee and Robert Diaz, the new Rama 1/2 remake is good. Strong says Hell's Paradise is a dope anime and great figures from Bandai. Go ba-do. Nathan Kennedy says Johnny autocorrect. You see, Nathan, what happens if you laugh a little bit, then the autocorrect comes in and it does the go ba-da, but you just puts the eye in the eye to know about other people's spelling. Dom says first fight sucked, second and third fights were great. Main event was a waste of time. Guys, you right about that, Mr. Machicciaro. Bart says best fights I've seen is grown men at 12 when classified jokes first hit. The I can't fight windmills were flying.
Sorry, so it digresses to something else. Man, Beast Boy says ladies won before, right? Yes. There was only one ladies fight on there. Yeah, it was just their fight. So yeah, it was just their fight was great. The other fights were just like Dom said, the other ones just like were garbage. Yes, Dom, just for Johnny, Moff Cosby made a return. She said both guys I can't say. That is true. That's very true. He says, give him some Cosby, give him some Vince. What do you see, Nathan? Well, you got a big match. You got to go in there strong. But like Matthew says, you should do Vince talking to Cosby about how strong his drinks are. I told him, I said, Cosby, when you come into the office, you're sweating and you're dripping all with sweat. You got to come hard.
You see, Vince, I told you the drinks were going to be super big and they're going to get your mind blown and you're going to be like, go good dog and gobble over and everybody's going to be dancing around, good dog.
That's what I want. That's what I want, my vicious, aggressive wrestling.
He wouldn't let Bill in anyway, though. He's not big enough. He only likes big dudes.
He let win with those drinks.
Okay. That's how they got canceled.
Exactly. That's how they got canceled. So that's good. Oh my goodness. I can't even now because like doing Vince is like, it's raspy on like it tears up your voice box. Like,
yeah.
To see how
I mean voice acting, I mean that's why it's a real job, right? Like can you imagine how like Frank Welker can't do the Megatron voice anymore because his throat doesn't work that way anymore, right? So.
Yeah, what's her name? Gary stopped doing the voices on Simpsons. Forget her name.
The Millhouse one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just retired. Yeah, I saw that pop up on my feed.
Yeah, I was like, and now it kind of makes me think, like, how long can some of those voice actors go?
Mm-hmm. And then some of them, especially if they do extreme tones that are really hoarse.
Exactly. So it's just like even you can tell like when Marge's voice change, like it's still the same voice, but you can tell like there's a tonal difference in it now.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, it might have been done out of necessity.
That is true. That
Yeah,
is very true.
you know, like the actor might have been like, you know, if I do it like this, I don't hurt as much the next day, so let's switch it.
Yeah. Nathan says, "What a maneuver!" And Nathan, I really like the picture because that's one of my favorite movies. The Thing, I love that movie. That's 1982 with
I
David
haven't seen it.
Keith in there. Oh, you know,
I haven't seen it. I'm a bad person, I know.
you're killing me, Jack. You're killing me. That 1982 Thing is one of those movies that you just have you. Oh my goodness! Have you seen The Fly with Jeff Goldblum?
I'm gonna say yes, but I'm lying. I'm gonna do another one that makes you sad. I saw Top Gun Maverick before I saw Top Gun.
Okay, I mean Top Gun's not too bad. It's up there, but it's like it's Top Gun. But not seeing like I know Nathan. Yeah, Greg, I am falling over dying. You got Nathan over here having a heart attack. Man, now do we find out about your art? We found out about your movies. Oh, Johnny.
Yeah, I know. I am missing. I'm missing real life education.
So now you spawned 14 times. All right. So Greg says.
So I actually didn't see Spawn. I did not see Spawn in the theater because I was not allowed to go watch it because my mom was really uncomfortable with the whole like, oh, he's the guy from Hell, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, no, you can't see that with Robbie and Chris. And I remember like she wouldn't let me see it. She wouldn't let me rent it. And I don't know if you've ever had Future Shops in the U.S., but we had Future Shop here before Best Buy bought everything out and closed them. You know how sometimes you see like DVDs where they'll have like one movie for one price and then two movies for $20 or something like that if you buy an even number.
Right.
So I needed an even number movie and I saw Spawn there, so I grabbed it and I bought it. And my mom saved me. You know, back when you're a teenager and not making much money, that movie ticket will piss me off probably paying for that.
See, there you go. You know what? I'm saying I did not get to see it in theaters. I think I watched it like a couple years later after they had put it out on like I think it was like on TV or one of the paid channels at that point in time. But yeah, like you're just like, man, what a downer this was. Like the HBO, I watched the HBO series, which was better.
Yeah, no, the HBO show was incredible.
Yeah, the HBO like that one was hands down like the best. If Ty could go back and do that, I would be more excited for Spawn than the movie.
Yeah, and then because of the series, you have time to really flesh everything out, right? So you get to become friends with these people, at least in your head.
Exactly. Bring Keith David back as Al Simmons. Like, yo, I'll be down. Like, yo, Keith's back. All right, we in. We're good. We in good hands.
I can't get over how many like small parts Keith David has had in so many comedies. I never really realized it until maybe 2 years ago. And I was actually watching like Fresh Off the Boat, and he was like supposed to be Uncle Marvin's one of his old Navy friends, and he, you know, something like that. But it's like, because I just see them, right? And I was like, oh, who's this old guy?
Right.
And I'm like, why is his voice so familiar? Oh my God, it's Goliath.
All right, so I have to ask, did you watch They Live?
I've never heard of it.
Roddy Piper and Keith David?
Mm-mm.
The great fight scene between Roddy Piper and Keith David. You have not seen that?
I have not. So they live? Yes. Do I need to do a YouTube search right after we're done here? Shoot me a DM on that if you remember.
Especially like, look, even Nathan like that. I know, Nathan. I'm about to sit down. My heart is hurting right now. My heart is hurting. Oh my goodness.
Now, wait, what year was that movie? Out of curiosity.
I want to say like 19. Hold on, I gotta look it up now because I don't even know. Like,
Is it 80s or 90s?
It would be 80s, I want to say.
I
Yeah, 1988.
okay. So I can use an excuse. I was not in North America yet because we only immigrated to Canada in '92. So like the stuff that we get in Asia is sometimes different.
Okay. All right. I will
Oh,
let you slide.
okay.
But at
Actually,
this point in time, like you,
Go ahead.
so speaking of that, I got a funny story. Especially, I don't know if you got like listeners who are big Transformers guys, because I loved Transformers growing up, but Malaysia got Transformers multiple years after you guys got it. So for example, like you had the first season and the first wave of toys. Second season, second wave of toys. Then the movie comes out, right? And then season 3, and then those toys, correct?
Right.
So in Malaysia, it was a huge deal. I remember like there were newspaper articles and like all the departmental stores had these huge displays when Transformers was about to launch. And it was like those toy dioramas were so cool in those front displays. They had like Insecticons suspended on like fishing lines flying above buildings and stuff. It was really cool. But the problem was season 1 was airing on TV when it finally came. But we got all 3 seasons worth of toys come out at the same time in the beginning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, because like what you guys got Transformers in '84, right? I think we got it in '87 or '88.
Yeah, I think we got it in 84 if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so it was really funny. So actually, relevant to my childhood, when Transformers came out, my mom only bought me one small, like the small Transformers, like Bumblebee size ones.
Right.
And then I had a birthday coming out. It was like, no more Transformers. You're gonna wait till your birthday. But I didn't get to choose any of them because it's like birthday parents from your parents. And
right.
Okay, so take note. We got all 3 seasons worth of toys come out at once. I'm still just watching Optimus, Megatron, Ironhide, those guys. One of my birthday presents was Rodimus Prime.
So you haven't got the movie yet? Oh man!
Yeah. So I wasn't reading at the time, but you know how like on the packaging on the back there was that little stat card with the graph and like the little bio blurb on them. Right. And I remember like I opened the toy and then like I gave the box to my sister, and then she was just like, Rodimus Prime, function, Autobot leader. And little 5-year-old me got so pissed. I'm like, this is not the Autobot leader. That's Optimus. Who's this stupid guy with skinny legs? Like the toy. It's like, I don't like this guy. Like, who's this guy that turns into like this weird Winnebago thing? Like this like sport motorhome.
So when did you finally get the Transformers movie?
I watched it, I think around the time I was 8. So it would have been like over 3 years later. And because because the kid across the street had a bootleg VHS and he loaned it to me.
That's wow.
Yeah. So I had no context of Rodimus Prime for the longest time.
Okay, I can't fault you too much for that. Daggone. Oh my goodness. I would. Oh. Woo. I'm sorry.
No worries. So my strongest Transformers memory are actually the Japanese shows. So I don't know if you heard about like Super God, Master Force, and Victory and Headmasters. Have you heard of those?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Transformers Master Force that was the one that I have the strongest memories and association with.
Gotcha.
But the thing that was really funny is when they brought them to Malaysia, they were dubbed in English. But they were not dubbed in English by Americans or British people. They were dubbed in English by Hong Kong or Singaporean people. But
what?
It was one of those weird things where like actually, if you get a chance, look up Transformers Master Force Omni dubs, because I swear they only have 4 voice actors. They had like 3 guys, and then like if they had a female character, I think one lady did all of them. And
wow.
And the voice acting was so bad. You could tell there was like a hint of an accent. But the other part that was really funny about it is, like, you know how a lot of Transformers have the faceplate, like Optimus Prime does?
Right.
When those guys talk, They would actually talk like this, so they sound muffled. But yeah, look up the Omni dubs for Transformers Master Force. It's so bad, but if you want to do like your own rip tracks or something, go for it. I think you would have golden content right there.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, yeah. Message me with that because I know I forget, but definitely message me that because I will. Oh man, yeah. I will have to look that up now. Oh my goodness. Man, Beast Boy says, Dante, you mad that you bought that Joker set knowing that Toy Blocks is making it for less? I did not buy that Joker set. But anybody's paying $250 for that Joker set, I wish them all the best. You know what I got for $250? Let me show you. This is my $250 right here. Me and my son.
If you got $250 for that Joker set, you take that $250 and you go pay a therapist instead. Okay.
Exactly. No. Rob says, I know someone who paid to see Gymkata in theaters, and then again, I paid to see Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 twice. Gymkata. Why is that? I know that, and I'm just drawing a brain fart right now. I know. Why is that? I know it, but I just can't remember offhand. Man, Beast Boy says HBO Spawn was my shit. Recorded on tape every week. Yes, indeed. Nathan says, you know what Keith David was in? The Thing. Maybe something about Mary. Yes, he was also in there. Bezo Franks. You haven't heard of They Live? Yeah. Yo. Oh man, I'm sorry, Johnny. On their show, they're gonna probably roast you. They're gonna be like, Johnny hasn't seen these movies. We got to get him some movies to watch.
Watch. Nathan's gonna invite me on the show just so that Tyler can roast me. It's just gonna be me sitting there taking it, and then like Joe actually gets left out of it. They don't pick on him for the next half hour.
Was it 87 or 86 or 87? I can't remember. Greg says, you love Transformers, define Transformers G1, Beast Wars, Beast Machines, Armada, and its sequels, etc. So I guess which season, like which Transformers series?
My favorite?
Did you? Yeah, I guess yeah. My favorite.
My favorite would be G1, but it's the Japanese stuff. So like Super God, Master Force, and Victory. Those 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, so you know how I said our toy release was all messed up with the US Transformers?
Right.
In Japan, it was Hitmasters followed immediately after the American cartoon ended. It actually was a continuation of it. And then Master Force, then Victory. But when Malaysia got it, it was Master Force, Victory, and then Hitmasters. So the first season came out last. Because wow. I guess the guy who did the muffled Optimus Prime voice was probably also the guy who ordered the tapes. I don't know.
Oh, good Lord. I'm so sorry for you, sir. I feel so bad for you. Let's see. Strine says Transformers fan G1 and Beast Wars baby. AO Mecha says 86 movie is GOAT, which hurt a lot of kids. Like hurt a lot of kids' childhood. Like watching Optimus Prime die. That was the worst. Beast Wars, hell yeah. Beast Wars, Grace says Beast Wars is so much fun. Mega says Optimus over Rodimus. I think we all can mostly agree with that. I love Optimus over Rodimus Prime. Power Master Optimus was damn awesome in the comics. Yes, he was. I actually have that one. I still have my Power Master Optimus.
And the Power Master Optimus Prime toy was what they used as Super Jinrai in the Master Force show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So one thing that was really neat about that, like if you're a fan of, it might be tacky now going as an adult looking at it with no nostalgia, but when you watch Super God Master Force, the Transformers, it's almost like Power Rangers, because the Hitmasters and the Power Master engine guys, they're actually like, when they introduce them in the show, they're just people that find these husks of a car and then they find these magic bracelets in the glove box, and then when they put them on, they can't take them off anymore. But when they cross them and say transform, then they armor up, and then they have their adventures, and then when they need to transform, they get shot out of the cockpit, and then they come back and connect with the robot and finish it up. It's really cool.
That's awesome. I guess I gotta go back and like find some of this stuff.
The only thing I complained about that old Transformers as a kid was you know the trademark transforming sound, the right, that sound?
Right.
In Master Force, only the Decepticons made that sound. The Autobots made a chimey noise when they transformed, and that pissed me off even as an 8-year-old.
They gypped you on everything over there. They were like, "Yeah, we cutting out some sound effects, we cutting out voice actors. We're doing everything ourselves." Stratton says, "Hot Rod over Rodimus, fight me." No, I agree with you. Hot Rod was better than Rodimus.
One really unfortunate thing I found, they never knew how to write Rodimus Prime, because he was always second guessing himself in season 3.
Yeah, he was. I think because he had just got the leadership of Matrix, so he was like kind of like, I don't know how to really be a leader yet. So I can kind of see that a little bit. So it kind of made sense.
Yo, Rodimus Prime is Lion-O. That's what happened. He's Lion-O. Because you know how Lion-O aged, but he hadn't matured yet? It's just his body was big. Maybe that's what happened to Rodimus Prime.
I didn't think of it that way. Yo, I really did not think of it that way. You are right.
Just popped in my head. So thinking about it.
Yes, I did see this. I actually had the movie's loaded up on my Plex account, and I'm not watching it. I refuse to watch a bloody Popeye movie. I'm good on that.
Is this like CG animated or live or what?
No, it's a live action, and yeah. When I looked at it, I was like, nope, not doing this. I'm not taking time out of my day for this. Nope. Robert says, Johnny's story reminds me of the English dub of Jackie Chan anime. The show was dubbed by people speaking broken English. Wow. I didn't even know there was even a Jackie Chan anime. That's crazy.
This is not just that Jackie Chan Adventures, right? From like the early 2000s. But that was a Western.
I don't know. Right. Unless there was a Jackie Chan anime. I'd never heard of it.
No, that's new to me. So.
Hey, Greg says, Victory, didn't Hasbro do a HasLab for that a couple years ago? And did you get in on that?
I was very tempted to get that. I was. So for one of my birthdays, I was supposed to get Star Saber, like back in the 90s.
Right.
And we went to the departmental store. It's called Parkson. Oh, wow. Flashback. I'm just getting all these nostalgic memories now. I can actually smell the place. Whew, that's weird. And I was like, okay. So I was always a very picky kid. So my mom eventually got to a point where she's like, no surprises for this kid, because he wants very specific things. So if we buy him something for his birthday before your birthday, you just don't get to open it until your birthday, right? That kind of thing. But there was a Star Saber there, and she was gonna buy it for me. And then before we did, I was just like, can we open it just to make sure all the parts are there? So the store employee cut the tape off, slit the styrofoam out. And Dante, are you familiar with the Brainmaster piece in the Star Saber?
No, because I don't think I remember Star Saber too fondly. So
okay, so I don't know about the new one, but the old one, there was a little tiny robot that would slide into the chest compartment of the smaller form of Star Saber. And when it closes, there was this little elevator that pushed the section up, so his face would come into the head. So until you put that little guy in there, the face would just look like a hollow helmet. Well, when we took the styrofoam tray out, the little Brainmaster robot was missing. So my Star Saber would have been missing a face if we had bought that or just returned it for a refund. So I never got Star Saber for that birthday. She ended up buying me a Dino Rider and the Turtle Van, I think, instead. But what happened was, when my grandma came to visit and she gave me my birthday money, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna go get a Star Saber when I find one. My mom would not allow me to play Star Saber after that for whatever reason. It was like, nope, that ship has sailed. You go get something else. We go. These dinosaurs are more educational.
Oh man, that's gotta hurt. Like, all right, got this. Nah, you ain't getting it.
Yeah, I think I ended up getting another Dino Rider set instead. with my grandma's money.
That's crazy because that you knew to look for that. I would never know to look at, because I'm trying to think, like, what year was that when Star Saber came around?
For me, it would have been 1990, I believe.
Yes, at that point, yeah, I stopped collecting Transformers around that.
Well, you would have gotten that because that one was a Japanese toy. That was a Japanese toy. Like all the writing was in Japanese. Yeah, so that probably would never have showed up in your shops.
Yeah, so yeah, I would never known to look for that. Like there was a piece missing, and that's wild that a piece was actually missing in there.
Well, there was this bad thing about how a lot of toys where if there was like when you got the box with the little tiny window cutouts,
right?
And if there was like a tiny figure in there, lots of people would puncture those and steal those little figures. So I suspected like something could have been jacked out of this toy. So I wanted to make sure everything was in there, and unfortunately, like my suspicions were right. I mean, fortunately, but also unfortunately, right?
Right. Times have not changed.
Oh yeah, when Hasbro switched to when they were just throwing everything in like tissue paper and people were swapping out the little figure guys.
Yo, it like not even that, like more Amazon now too, like because people like buy stuff, they're like, yeah, like, and they open it up like, yeah, it's like a brick in here. Like I got a brick. Like Amazon just sent me a brick, a lot of brick. Like this must have been returned, and they're like, just put it back on the shelf, and they're like, all right, and now I got the brick, and then you got to fight with Amazon to go get your money back because you got the wrong stuff, like the wrong thing. Yeah, it's a shame. Tom says Optimus Prime died. Spoiler alert. You had what, a good 30, 40 years at this point to see that he's already been dead.
Yeah, spoilers on a 36-year-old movie.
Exactly.
Dom's gonna give you spoilers for Passion of the Christ next.
Guess what? He died. Sorry. Grace says Dante's Popeye is Robin Williams. You're dang blast Skippy right. Yes, I remember that movie. I watched that movie as a kid. Like every time my mom was like, "Hey, Popeye's on." All right. Like, yo, Robin Williams could do no wrong. He could do no wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's such a good guy. Amazing actor.
Yeah. Grace says Jackie Chan Adventures. You mean the Talisman of the Zodiac? Yeah, that one where he had those talismans. Robert says the Jackie Chan anime was released in Asia and they only dubbed 12 episodes. It's on Tubi. Oh, okay. I have to check that out. I did not even know. Didn't even know that they remotely even had an anime for him. Nate says, want to give a shout out to Dante for hosting and monitoring the chat. Know those feels. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just trying to get everybody in here, make sure everybody gets their, comments read and questions answered. Mecca says, you have the worst luck with Transformers. Stick with Gundams and build your RX Verica. Wow, Johnny, you just getting called out tonight, aren't you?
Actually, speaking of Gundam, do you have any specific types that you're collecting? Like, do you try to only just say stick with one grade or suits from specific shows or timelines, or you just buy whatever looks neat?
That's it. I kind of buy whatever looks like I would think that'd be a good, a fun build or looks great as being built.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Witcher Mercury, I was like, oh, that looks awesome. I want to build that. The unicorn one, the Verica unicorn I had, loved it, but it came apart. I just
because of all the transforming pieces sliding all over the place.
No, it came apart at
No.
like the waist. The waist had dropped and a piece had broke off, and I was like, you know what? Nope, going right back in the box. I'm done. And it was built and everything, and I was so mad. But a friend of mine told me, he's like, that kid was notorious for having issues. So that's
I
what
heard
kind
that
of
about
upset me too.
the Strike Freedom MGEX also has a really weak waist. I heard. I think it was actually A Omega that told me that too.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I bought that. I don't think I have that one.
Well, if you like shiny
forget the
things,
other ones.
it's mostly gold.
No, okay, so yeah, no, I don't have that one. Yeah, I didn't. I don't. I seen some of the gold ones, but I was like, like I want something with some color in it. I didn't. Like, I wasn't for those too much. But yeah, it's like it's for me. It's just if it looks like a fun build, it looks like it's fun to put together, and it looks really cool once it's put together. All right, I'm down for it. Like I'll buy it and build it. And I think that's what made me love like that Devastator. Where is it? Like this one, like was such a fun build, and it's like superposable. Like it does everything you really want it to do as a transformer. Even though it only has like one set of hands, but for a transformer, it doesn't feel like you can break. Like you'll break it, and even putting it back into like standing form, it still feels great. Like you don't feel like you're gonna like snap any pieces off of it. And I think Flame Toys really did a great job with this kit. And now I want to find more. I got to find more and want to get more of them. But thanks to Bart, he helped me find two of the I think Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Somebody was selling. But yeah, these are like super. Like I love this one. This one I think is so far my favorite. So I get the other ones, but this is so far my most favorite kit that I built recently. Besides,
No, my
Voltron
favorite
and
thing about those Flame Toys is like they're so articulate, and even though you still have like really boxy design that's adjacent to G1, it just the way they pose them for the box photographs, and they have those really wide stance poses that you would never ever see a Hasbro one do or the cartoon do. It's just like chef's kiss. And
this
so
one
they
here,
feel good.
this
I've never built a Flame Toy, so.
Oh yeah, they're worth it. This one here, this one's really good too. I think this is Flame Toys as well, because this one actually you can separate it. It goes into all like the dinosaurs. You can put it into tank mode, and you can put it into Megazord mode.
Oh wow!
And I don't think they came out with the Dragon Zord yet. But yeah, this one was fun too. It was a little painstaking, but and it actually comes with articulated fingers too on this one.
Oh wow! Did you have to assemble
like,
each joint individually, or was it like one of those? Some of those Gundams where like the posable fingers are all kind of already assembled on a sprue.
No, you had to actually assemble the joints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think you had to assemble the joints on this one. But yeah, this one I love it. It was like dope. I was like, Megazord, okay. So they just need to come out with a Dragon Zord and I'll be happy.
Neat. Oh man. Have you seen the Ecopla P Bandais? The black one with like one neon accent color? Like those are so cool.
No, I haven't seen those.
Okay. Because that's my intentional lane right now when it comes to Gundam kits. It's just to limit myself so that I don't just like buy a whole bunch of crap that looks cool.
Yeah. Look, I'm with you. Like I'm very particular about my kits like that I buy. I'm like, okay, like I don't go like really like deep into them. Like, all right, I just go ones like, all right, that looks cool. Like I want that one, I want that one. And I kind of like stay, because what happens is like I'll buy the kit and then it'll take me a long time to build, like get through all the kits that I have. Like I still have like I think 8 more kits to build, and that's from like last year and this year put together.
That's awesome.
Yes, I don't really like push myself to buy a lot of those, because they do like start adding up in price. And a friend of mine, I forget what kit he could have grabbed in Japan. I was like, no. And now I'm kind of regretting that I didn't have him grab it. One of the Gundam kits that were in Japan. I forget what. I think it was a unicorn kit.
Okay.
I can't
Like, was
remember
it
which one it was.
exclusive to the base or something like that?
I can't remember.
Okay. I mean, it'll probably eventually end up here unless it's an event thing.
No, it was like I think it was like an older kit. It wasn't one of the newer
okay.
ones. I think it was just like an older one.
Mm.
I think because I asked a buddy of ours, he's like, "Yeah, that one's a little." He's like, "It's a little bit hard to find, but he's over there. And he can grab it, just grab it." I was like, I don't know, because I didn't want to have him have to ship it over or try to stuff it in his suitcase to bring it back.
Yeah, no, don't feel bad about your unbuilt kits though. Never feel bad about your unbuilt kits, because just call it your mint in box section. And you know what? If you decide that you need the money, just let them go. Just let them go.
Oh, but I'll never now I'll call him that. My mint in box collection. Look, a buddy of mine, he has more than me. He has a closet full of Gundam kits, like 2 closets full of Gundam kits that he has not built. And I'm like,
right.
Were you starting a store now? Like you can almost start a Gundam store. Let me just buy. Like, look, just give me the kits and I'll build them myself. Man, Beast Boy says this was on a local Fox channel every month. Rob says, jokes on you, Johnny. Rob says, jokes on you, Johnny. They made a deluxe Jesus being crucified on a cross action figure made by D13 Toys.
I saw those. I saw those on Big Bad Toy Store in like the front page for the pre-orders. Yeah. I mean, the pictures they show were, him wearing the robe, obviously. But when you see all the parts, I'm like, oh, that's the nailed on set of hands and feet or whatever. I'm like, I'm good.
I have easy mod duty anymore. Thank you. Well, thank you. I appreciate you mods that are here. I thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all take care of everything. We don't have to remove the chat spam box anymore. Yeah, it's true. I haven't seen those in a while. Thank goodness. Matt Logic says, saying Dante, Popeye was great. Thank you. I appreciate you, Matt. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bart says, I buy what looks cool, preferably 1/100th. Yeah, I try to go for the big ones too, as well.
I like the
Bart
presents
says, my PG
big one.
Exactly. Like they look good. Like the bigger ones look good. I like the small ones every once in a while, but the bigger ones look better to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they did it, I did the Voltron kit, but I wish they would have did a bigger kit of it, like the Megazord one. That would be dope to have. Like I would love to build that as like a bigger kit. Versus my perfect grade RX-78 has a super weak shoulder. Effing pissed for the money. It should be rock solid. I feel that way about the metal build RX I have. I feel like if I move it, it's gonna break somewhere. And it's not like I have it right here. It's weird. No. Oh man, he's gonna fall. Like this, it's kind of like a metal build almost.
Is that one of those like die-cast action figures?
Yeah, but it's the kit version of it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I feel like if I move it, like it's gonna break somewhere. So I just keep it posed so I don't mess with it.
I mean, if you break it, just battle damage. Now it's a custom. Just turn it into a diorama. Done. Problem solved.
That is true.
You got scenic base for someone else now.
I don't know if you follow this one guy on Instagram. I think it's Ray something, and he does like these custom parts for like Gundams. Like he'll sit there and like make a custom part. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'll send it to you. Like he'll sit there and like make custom parts add on to Gundams.
Are they scratch ones, or is it those guys that like they scribe all the extra panel lines and put plastic card on top of it? Because those are actually.
I think he might. Yeah, I think he may scribe it, but like there was like a piece for RX that he made like for the arm that had the dual sabers on there. The work he put into it is just amazing. It's like I wish I could just do that. I probably could if I took the time out, but Greg says name your top 3 Gundams from your 3 favorite series.
Jeez. All right, so top 3 series. Number 1's Iron Blooded Orphans for me. That's my favorite series.
Okay.
And I'll give the slot to the Barbados Lupus Rex. Then I would say second place for me is probably Double O. So I'm a huge fan of the Double O and the Exia. I would say my next favorite mobile suit would probably be the Strike Noir or the Red Astray, but my favorite series after that would be the 08 MS team.
There you go. Oh, that's nice. You know what's funny? Haven't seen any of those series.
Okay. If you have to choose, so 08 MS team is short. If you can find the episodes, I believe it's only 12 or 13 episodes. And so as long as you're okay with like not super aesthetic Gundams, because it's a very grounded series. So everything is very like,
that's what I heard.
It feels very grounded. Like the cool thing about it's basically like, what if the Vietnam War was fought with mobile suits? Just play it out that way.
Gotcha.
And then, but if you have the time and willing to put in the investment, I would say Iron Blooded Orphans if you like to feel sad. Because when my friend first described it to me when it was airing, he was like, the way AO actually described it to me first time, I actually thought the Barbados was Mega Man. Like I thought he was going to kill the Gundam and then like take apart on. But he was describing as the suit slowly evolved as the show progressed. But the big thing about that show is nobody has any plot armor. Nobody has plot armor. If that person has a name and you like them, there's a good chance something very bad will happen to them.
See, that's what I like a series. Like, that's what I like about like a good series. Is like, hey, all right, I'm rolling. My name is JoJo. Yeah. All right, Joe. Second, like 10 minutes in, oh, JoJo's dead. You just introduced him. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, because the thing I loved about Iron Blooded Orphans is like, you know how so many shows now we're dabbling with the whole like we got black and white, like good and evil, and then we experiment the gray area. This show really plays with the gray area of morality because so many characters that you start off thinking who are good end up doing terrible things, and characters that are actually bad but because of circumstances end up doing good things for the greater good. And so I don't think this is a blatant spoiler, but the only characters that you feel are blatantly consistently evil were the arms dealers and the human traffickers, which were introduced in plot lines. But everyone else, like there'll be a character that you thought like this is the biggest asshole ever, but by the time the late game happens, like, oh my gosh, they're doing something that's so good for everybody. Wow.
All right. We'll go through these couple comments real quick, and then we'll jump into some toys. Oh wow, there's a lot that I missed. All right, so we'll blaze through these real quick. AOM Mecha says, HG ball joint connection at the thighs are my nightmare if they break. I need to build that dev. It looks cool. I have RC and Hot Rod flame toys in the backlog. Ooh, I would like to build Hot Rod. I think Hot Rod would be a cool little build. Why is it not clicking? There we go. Right. Okay. Something's wrong. There we go. Stress says my Titan class Devastator could step on that model kit. Really? Trying to step on my model kit. Mega says I want that Megazord too. Megazord's dope. The Megazord
does look really good. It looks really good.
Let's see. Bart said I got a bunch of the Flame Transformers. They are great. Yeah, Flame Toys is where it's at, man, Beast Boy. Flame Toys model kits are where it's at. I built the Storm Shadow. It's not too bad. I'm not too happy with it, but Storm Shadow was decent.
Like a Flame Toy model kit of Storm Shadow, like the ninja from J.J.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They did.
Didn't know that was
yeah, they had Snake Eyes and his motorcycle, and then they did Storm Shadow.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Bart says Hobby Lobby has kits on sale for 40% every couple of weeks. I stock up on them. Yeah, I did. I've been seeing those, which is wild. Mecha says, what are Gundam backlogs?
Exactly. Dude, it's your thing, man. It's your thing. It's not backlog. The only time it's a burden is if you need the space or the money. That's the only time it's a burden.
That's true. That is very true. Well, I don't have space because when you have a dragonfly, a his tank, a Batmobile, and 20,000 other figures taking up spots, yeah, you run out of space real quick.
Oh, don't forget about
Or
your Thunder Tank coffee table you got, right?
no, I don't have the Thunder Tank thing because I have 3 of these dudes, like Giant Man. I'm looking at four big dinosaurs. I'm looking at right now.
And then
So
the
like
Mythic Legion's dragon that's like what 6 feet long when you stretch it out.
that dragon. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, no, I mean that's my big dilemma with my Sofubi collection, especially of the kaiju stuff, because like he's pretty tall, but they all have tails,
right.
so they've all got tails.
Don says you haven't seen the sex box because you clicked on all the links before we could do. Rob says next year when Popeye hits public domain, a Popeye themed horror film is being made. I would not expect any less. Bart says my perfect grade, you have to grab him by the legs because if you grab him by the torso, it falls up instantly, and I don't even touch him anymore. That's why I didn't like that unicorn. I hated that unicorn. Yes, Mecca Race Studio. Yes, that's who I was talking about. Amazing work. I got some of his tools, scribing mainly, but they do all sorts of customs and made the Zegok armor for the Justice Seed movie. Bart says, I just finished Seed. It stunk. Rob says, 08th MS team could have been better and longer. The creator died 6 episodes in. Oh, wow.
I didn't know none of that. Yeah, I didn't know the creator died.
Yeah.
While they were doing
it. Do I see a Zaku? Yes, you do, Mirage. You do. You see a Zaku. 08th MS team is on Hulu and it's Guerrilla Warfare Gundam style. Mirage says, going to Japan soon, by the way. Oh, have fun. Enjoy. I need to go try to go myself. Shrine says, Gundam Wing is my #1 series and my first Gundam love, Toonami baby. That's how I got introduced to Gundams too.
Soft spot for so many people, yeah. Back when they're airing it in 2000.
Yep. That was our gateway in. Like, yo, like, why these orphan kids just going hard in these Gundams? Especially with Sandrock. Yo, my man went hard at Sandrock. He was not like, yo, it's like, I got this. Don't you worry.
So Sandrock's yours from Wing? That's your favorite?
Wing Zero was my favorite from there. And then what was the other one? The dragon one.
The Shenlong.
Yes.
Yeah. That's up with the pilot because he didn't have bangs, so he had like the really big forehead because they tied his hair up.
That is true. He did have a big forehead. I'm not gonna lie. He did have a big forehead. Brian says, all this Gundam talk has me wanting to start getting Gundam kits again. Do it. Greg says, C got redubbed. The redub is horrible. Missing audio, change name pronunciation. Oh, wow.
Dante, do you watch anything from Seed, or did you watch the Seed movie when it came out?
I haven't watched.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't watched anything.
The way they like, I went to the theater and watched it, and unfortunately, I had the English dub, and like Lacus, her name, and then when you hear it in Japan, they pronounce it closer to something like Laksu or something like that. But hearing Kira's voice actor go, Lacus, I miss Lacus, I need her, I miss her. Like, dude, you should not be with Lacus. Like, you know that your real romance is with Athrun, right?
We know it's funny too. Like, I went to the movie theaters. What was it? The first My Hero Academia movie that came out in the theaters.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I went with a buddy of mine. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, and I was so used to watching it like subtitled.
Oh, okay.
And then when I heard American voices, I'm like, that's not Deku. Who's that? That's not Deku.
Right.
He's like, you're so used to hearing it like the Japanese voice, you're not used to hearing the American voice for it. I'm like, that is true, but that's still not Deku. Mm-mm.
Did you find yourself adjusting to watching anime on a big screen? Because the last Demon Slayer movie, I went to the theater for that. And you know how like sometimes in
Right.
anime when they spaz out, like the backgrounds will get all flashy and then you get all the crazy chibi animations. Seeing that on a large screen freaked me out, and it always took me out of it. Whereas like watching it on my TV, I'm fine, but when I saw it in the theater,
Right.
it was very off-putting for me anyway.
It wasn't too bad. I like because what through. I think the only one that threw me off was the last Dragon Ball movie that came out in theaters.
Mm-mm.
Is when they were fighting Broly, and it basically broke reality. I'm like, what? I was like, okay, I'm trying to follow everything. Like, I can't see where did they go? I feel like Krillin and all that, like the regular humans sitting there, like, so what's going on now? They did what? They're not on this plane anymore. What? Now hold on. They on what? They're not doing what? Nah, no. You know, I'm going home. Just let me know when the fight's over. I'm going home. Come on, bald head Krillin. Come on, you coming too because you can't help.
It's like The Simpsons. You hear the door slam, car tire squeal. Off you go.
I'm not. Nah, it's too cold out here too. It's freezing. We're in the cold mountain. They're up here tearing up Antarctica, knocking the Earth off its axis. Now global warming is happening because they broken reality and they're different planes and like nah. All right.
Are you watching the new Dragon Ball series that just started not too long ago?
No,
No,
because
okay.
I don't like when they're kids. I hate it when they turn them into kids. I didn't like it when they did in Dragon Ball GT, and I don't like it now. I hate that when they turn Goku into a kid. I'm like, you just depowering him to try to make the others powerful, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So moving on to some quick toy news here.
All right.
I know Hucky. I don't hate kids. I hate when they turn adults into kids, dog. Dragon Ball was the worst one to do that. That's the reason why. Dragon Ball was the worst one to do because Dragon Ball GT was just like so awful. It's like it just made me mad. I'm like, what is this? Why are we getting this? Why is Goku a kid? Like we already seen Dragon Ball. We don't need to see Dragon Ball again. It's not what I want to see. That's why. Hucky, I posted this. I'm not like I said, I'm not super familiar with some of these characters.
Okay. It looks very tokusatsu-y.
Yeah, I'm not, and it's all in Japanese, so I don't know who.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Like, is it a Sentai or something else?
Maybe I don't know. Hucky's not here to help out, so I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, that guy in the red suit definitely looks like a Sentai. Okay, it's a Ranger.
That's a Sentai. I know that, but I don't know which show it's from. So I don't know where this one is from. But it looks cool. I mean, it's another SHF brush figure.
Mm-hmm. It'll be very posable. That's
hot toy. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, yes, indeed. Thank you, Mecca. It says RPM.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for the US. For the US Ranger version. Yeah, I never made it past Mighty Morphin.
Oh, so I believe the Sentai that became Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is called Zeo Ranger. Before that one, there was one called Jetman, something Sentai Jetman, but they decided not to do it because it was bird themed, and they thought it was too close to G-Force. So they waited, like, you know what, kids like dinosaurs a lot more than birds.
Yeah. But I love G-Force. I didn't care what anybody said this.
Okay.
When Cartoon Network was showing G-Force late at night, I'll be standing up trying to watch it. I'm like, yo, is G-Force gonna come on? Because I'll be jamming that song like G-Force. They be flying there like G-Force. I'm like, oh, this is my jam right here.
And those Rangers, they like, you know, like the Silverhawks wings, like Darkhawk and all, like they had those too. And so when they would do big jumps, you would see the wings. It was actually pretty cool.
But like,
And it has the craziest
what,
ending ever too.
but wasn't it like in the Japanese version, like they like some of them were getting like killed, like getting like actual hurt, but they edited it for the Americans.
Oh yeah, so they edited a ton. So for example, like Tommy the Green Ranger here, the reason they had to
Mhm.
switch out and give you guys the White Rangers because they ran out of Green Ranger footage because he died.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What and then also they had so too. What I heard was the reason why you saw the floppy um, plate, the armor plate, is
hmm
because something I forget what happened. I don't know if they lost the original one or it got damaged when they were trying to ship it over here.
I
So
heard
that's
something
why,
along those lines too. Yeah.
yeah, and so that's why they had to make a flop. Like the other one looks so floppy because it was like, oh, we had to make it because the other we couldn't
hmm
get the other one, the original one.
Yeah, but instead of digging up the molds, it's just like, yo, let's go to the dollar store and some gold foil. Whoop.
Exactly. This looks great. I don't have 250 to get out for this. Was it 250? Sorry, 230. It's 230. Mondo is doing the Spider-Man anime series Black Suit.
Yeah,
Looks
yeah.
amazing.
The stuff Mondo's been hammering out is really impressive.
Yeah.
I, I
Which
I'm
kind of
I've
makes me
already. Oh, go ahead.
I know I was gonna say, which kind of makes me think that they're going to do a shocker if they gave him the hand holding the shocker's hand.
Okay.
Because you see, like right here is that's Shocker's hand he's holding. So I wonder if that's a hint that we may get that later on.
Oh, those guys are always cooking things up. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Shocker.
They're getting everybody, 12 inches at a time.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
Did you see that?
230, it's a
You're
lot.
probably going to show the Clayface after too, right?
I don't know if I have the Clayface one.
Okay,
I don't
that
think I have a
Mondo
Clayface.
Clayface looks insane. It's so good looking.
I have to look it up and see. Mezco announced their Deadpool and Wolverine action figure that's coming out. Looks I guess it looks pretty good. Let's see. I'm just curious. I was like to look at what it comes with. Wow, that's a lot of head sculpts it comes with. So you got 3, you got 6, and then looks like the mask itself. And looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of hands, and then another 2, 4, 6 clawed hands, and then claw swiping, and then stand.
Does the shirt come
So
off?
it's not bad. I doubt it. I doubt on that one.
So you can do the ending scene when they're trying to connect the
Yeah.
2 points. Oh, it'll be funny. You've got alternate torso, so you got a normal like Hugh Jackman torso, and then there's a glistening Hugh Jackman
Right.
torso, which is the same sculpt just with a coat of varnish.
Which is weird because I don't know if Mezco has gotten to that point where you can swap out like torsos like you would be able to do with like a Mythic Legion.
Mm.
But if they did get to that point, I could see that. I could see that happening with it. It'd be kind of dope. For 125, I don't know. Is he worth 125?
Does it make your heart happy?
No, for me, no. It's a pass for me.
Then
No.
then it's not worth the 125 for you then.
Yeah, not for me. I'm good. SHS, not SHF. Oh shoot, Play Arts Shin, making 6-inch figures. So we got, forget Vincent. I almost forgot his name.
Vincent Valentine.
Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, Mr. Valentine's. Mr. Valentine's.
That's a good looking.
And
That's a good
Valentine.
looking figure.
It does. It looks good.
Mhm.
But depending on what the price is, I'm not doing it. I think they're a little bit overpriced, Play Arts. I have a couple. Like I have the one from Vanquish.
Okay.
I had Dante from Devil May Cry, but I sold that one. But I still have my Vanquish one, and I'm just like, yeah, these are like giant like figures that I don't know what I'm going to do with all the accessories with.
Obviously put it in a
My
tackle box.
like the old GI Joe figures, but they come with the carrying case. Like they were built,
Yeah.
they're packaged in the case that you can put all the stuff in.
You know, that actually makes me sad now as I think about it. Like, I never had any of those themed carrying cases as a kid. Like the Darth Vader head
I
or
had,
anything like that. I never had one.
uh, yeah, I never had one of those either. Like I never got into them.
No, I just put everything into a
Um,
backpack when I would go out.
see, you know, I didn't, I didn't go out because I didn't have that many friends as a kid. So I was, uh, I was a loner and I enjoyed it.
Mm.
They have so Moffax is putting out the Stormtrooper 2.0 pre-order start tomorrow on the 23rd. Well, yeah, Saturday. So Saturday. And then you get the DC Moffax Nightmare Batman also as well tomorrow. Goes up for pre-order. I have to ship mine. Mine's just got charged to me. My Superman Eradicator has now been released. So that
What's
one
your
is
opinion when
finally
they
coming out.
release things like that Batman? Like, it feels like it's too late, almost. Like it's not quite
Yeah,
relevant right now.
I agree. Yeah, I've always feel like it's super late for like these kind of figures. I don't know. It's like 2.0 at this point. Like, do I really care? Does anybody who still cares about that really care at this point? Since we're like almost like moving on to a whole new different Batman,
Hmm. So are we gonna
it
have
makes
two
it tough.
Batmans if the DC with the DC4 universe? Like you got the Patterson doing its
Yes.
own thing, and then okay, and then James Gunn's Batman, and
Yeah.
they'll both exist at the same time.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. Someone posted on X. New Spider-Man Marvel Legends Retro Wave is available for pre-order at Entertainment Earth. Clone Saga Kane is likely in the wave. Nothing is known besides 5 is Black Cat. So we just know that it's up for pre-order, but we don't really know who's in that wave at the moment.
Besides Black Cat.
Um, I wonder. I wonder which Black Cat they're gonna give us though. That's the thing.
Do you like the traditional '90s with like the fur, the white fur pieces, or do you like the one with like the cat eye cutouts and the shoulder blades by the collarbones? I mean,
The '90s version. The '90s version to me
'90s.
is more superior.
Mm.
I like that one better. And then it looks like we may get the announcement December 12th from Paternia saying coming in a few weeks. So be on the lookout for that because Spider-Man stuff goes super quick.
Are
And
you
that,
going? Are
Spider-Man,
you gonna go hard on that since you're a Spidey guy?
it depends on it depends on who's in it. It depends on who's in the
Okay.
wave, honestly. Because
So with characters like,
I don't.
oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say like I don't do a lot of like the other side Spider-Mans that are out there. So it really depends on like if it's a villain I really want that's going to be in a wave or another hero. That'd be great to have in my collection to round out the Spider-Man series, the Spider-Man universe. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it because it's probably going to be something either I already have or an upgraded part of it.
Do you generally
Character, I should
keep
say.
all your, like, if it's the same Spider-Man suit specifically, but the engineering has changed because it's a newer one? Do you keep the older one when you get the new one?
Yes and no. So like this one here, I love this one. This is the one from the
Hmm.
Vulture 2-pack. Put this light down. This is the one from the Vulture 2-pack. I love this Spider-Man, but also too, I have my Renew Your Vow Spider-Man up here, which I still love. But then I also have my Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man and the Sentinel hand, which you can't see. But then I also have Black Suit Spider-Man on that Sentinel here. So it's like And then I do have and I did get the Secret War Spider-Man as well. I can get him sitting back up on here. Which I like the black suit. So in this, but I do like that black suit one, and I like this black suit one. So it's just kind of like
I love the jiggling webs.
well, those these are D Blake makes webs. These are his webs. I should say, like these are his webbing that he made, and it works very well with it.
So,
But yeah,
like that
it's
stand he's on, did it come with it, or is that something you put on?
no, that's it's a 796 Studios stand.
Okay. Oh, okay. Tito Mario. Got it.
Yeah, Mr. Mario. Him and his dancing school have been closed for I don't know how long. Just don't nobody goes there and dance anymore, unfortunately.
Mm.
Let's see. All right, so real quick, we'll end with this here. Just notice from NECA, wild stuff. Toy Bro posted NECA saying, "Thank you for your thank you for being a loyal NECA customer. Waiting, writing to inform you that due to an unexpected error in your shipping system, you received an extra Donatello Sewer Lab diorama by mistake. We sincerely apologize for the mix-up and confusion. To help us resolve the situation, ensure there are enough dioramas for the customers who bought them. We kindly request that you return the extra product to us. We'll provide you with a prepaid return shipping label to make it easy as possible. Instructions for returning the product. We refuse to apologize for the inconvenience upon receiving the diorama. We will provide you with a $100 NECA store credit to use on your next TMNT purchase as a token of our appreciation, which is basically one or two figures because the way the pricing is on them. Failure to return the diorama may result in limited opportunities to buy future products from the NECA store. Thank you again for your understanding and cooperation as we work to correct this mistake and prevent it from happening again in the future. Yeah, I really want to know how. One question that was brought up, like, do they know who they sent double dials to? That's the
I
thing.
would hope so. But
because if
I mean,
you're, well, the thing is, like, if within the shipping receipt it says one, but somebody put two in there, how do you know they got two? You know, it's like because they'll say like, okay, this person ordered one, his packaging, all right, this box is. But how do you even know that there's two? How do they ship two out to one person by accident anyway? That's the really logistic. That's the thing that you should be looking at is logistics. How did that even happen?
I wonder if like whoever was packing them was just like, I don't know. Let's just say a master case has two of them in there, so they're just like, oh, one box, boom, and that's what they were doing. I hope that's what happens. So instead of splitting it open,
maybe
they just put one box on the conveyor belt and off it went.
It's just that's a weird mess up, and to think that, I hate to say it, like in this day and age, to think that people are like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and send this back. I'm gonna be that good person, which you would hope they would be a good person and try to send it back. But it's like, nah, you messed up. You gotta live with that, NECA. It's like you kind of gotta.
Yeah, all I know is someone probably got let go.
Right, and it's just like, well, I got me.
Or it's like the boss's kid, and he was mad that day because daddy wouldn't let him buy a Viper.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, somebody's going to hold on to that and be on eBay. Be like, oh, let me go ahead, pop the bad boy on eBay, get that quick cash. So they'll probably get their money back for that dial and more. I'm like, yo, it's weird. It's a really weird thing. And even like what Rob's saying, like NECA really botched on the lab sets. My guess it was 2 sets per box, and people did not read the box and sent people two instead of one, which is like you were saying.
Yeah, they didn't split the master case.
You could check the weight of the box. Yeah, and I'm saying you could check the weight of the box as well. Like,
well, so all the people who didn't get, so what? Okay, some people are sent two, but are there a whole bunch of people who didn't get any?
I'm assuming so. So the people who ordered one got another person's order in their box, which they
Mm-hmm.
didn't probably open up the box and take the other one out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you would have to go back and make more to satisfy those people that you got. Because if you don't get them, what are you going to do when you don't get them back?
Yeah.
And how are you going to penalize
And then
people who got two?
yeah. And then you got the other nightmare of trying, like, I don't know what the factory's production queue is like, but I'd be like, hey, can we jump the line because we need to make an extra however many hundred?
Exactly. Dom says, personally, if it was a mass-produced item anyone can buy at any time, I keep it. But being made to order, I send it back. Keeping the extras likely means that someone who ordered is screwed, which is true. All right, nice try. Have a good one. So has to pay for myself. Yeah, I get what I get what you're saying, but then it's like you gotta hope. And I hate to say this, like in this day and time, most people are probably not going to send them back. Most people are going to try to put them on eBay and
Yeah.
sell them.
I'm just thinking for that poor guy
And
who ordered one and he lives out in the sticks, so there's no pickup center like within 2 hours of him.
Exactly. And it's going to be like, I made my money for this dial, plus I have extra cash now, so I'm good. I'm above it. I'm above the red, so I'm good.
So speaking of turtle shipments, literally 20 minutes before
Yep.
we went online, DHL stopped by my place, and my Mondo vinyl turtles came in.
Okay. I thought you were going to say, yeah, I got my Donatello Sewer Lab here, and I got another
No,
one
no,
here.
no,
No.
Nah. No, the only only upcoming action figures I'm looking forward to right now, besides the Street Fighter and Mega Man toys, are have you seen those vintage Super Sevens?
Which ones?
So they are proportioned like the old He-Man toys. So it's like they first came out with like Conan the Barbarian ones, and then they did a bunch for that band Danzig, and then the pre-orders for the Thundercat ones, Wave 1, are up right now, and those are really tempting me. Those are really
I
tempting me.
I haven't seen those. I know the other ones that you're talking about, but I haven't seen the Thundercat ones.
Yeah, no, I just like big, chunky, retro style toys. I want them to get. I want this line to do well because I want Transformers that look like He-Man proportions.
You know what? Brutal Realms was one that was doing like something like that too.
Mm-hmm. And then what was that one? Oh, what's it called? It was like Savage World or something that with DC characters.
Savage Crucible.
I want to say Funko did it years ago. Like there were DC characters that looked like they were kind of like barbarian fantasy looking, but they were like they were proportioned like He-Man toys. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember who was doing them.
Because the big thing for me, like, oh, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, there would contact. I hate just looking at the screen and then seeing the lag and then trying to make my brain process which one at once. No, like one thing I got a kick out of is like when the reaction toys came out. At first, when you look at a Ninja Turtle or a He-Man character, it looks kind of silly because reactions were based on like those old Star Wars era action figures where they're very normal-ish, right? Like no one's big. It's just a normal guy. And then when you put like a Masters of the Universe character on it, it's like, well, now he's small. Whereas in the case of something like this vintage line that they're doing now, I just want to see things that are not supposed to be big be really jacked, right? And like I don't know, that just looks interesting to me. So that's why I hope these Thundercats do good and they keep going because I want Transformers to get the vintage treatments from Super 7.
Woo. Yeah, we'll
Come on,
see.
you don't want to Hulk out Starscream? Come on, Hulk out Starscream. Let's go.
You know what? Those are ones I can easily like kind of skip over. Like they don't do anything for me. They just I'm like, all right, cool. Like if somebody else like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like that. It's just, they don't do anything for me. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. It's Bart said if they knew who got two, they would have contact them directly, so they have no idea. Dom says, I also see NECA people regularly. It would be hard to see them in person knowing that I kept an extra. Yeah,
Okay.
I get it. Yeah. Megan says, DC Elseworlds, Caveman, Batman. Welcome to streaming, John. And then Brian says, I got the Caveman Robin. So, with that being said as well, there was an update to this. Toy Bro says, Net is apparently doubling down on the whole sewer fiasco. Seeing a lot of folks posting this one. Did anyone get this? Did anyone here get this? By now, you should receive a shipping label to return the misshipped item. If we do not receive the piece back in the next few weeks, you're going to be charged for it and will be exempted from all of our future offerings. Please realize that by not returning the piece, that that was misshipped, you're taking away from another collector. Goodness. That's you should have did that in the first place. You should have just sent to the people in the first place who got two. But then it's kind of like you're penalizing me for your fault too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, well so either they know the people who got two, or they're just doing a broad stroke of people who got two. Like, hey, we see your package was a little bit heavier than another person's package. So, oh, wait a minute. Dom says, unfortunately, it's illegal for them to charge you for the extra. But they're saying that they are going to charge them for the extra. Robert says, they're trying to shoot night collectors. Brian says, I felt good when BBTS sent me an extra Black Series Bo-Katan way back, and they said, keep it. Yeah, you know what? That happened the same thing with me when I ordered a set from CMD store. I think it was a Kazar Wave. No, sorry, Zabu Wave. I had got an extra, I think it was extra Icarus in there. And I said, hey, I'm missing the one figure. I was like, I got an extra Icarus. Do you want me to send this back to you? They said, nope, keep it. We'll send out the other figure for you. No problem. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I had a missed shipment, and not with toy related, but I had to send it back because are you familiar with Fight Sticks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just before COVID happened, I bought a limited edition Chun-Li Fight Stick from Victrix, but they accidentally shipped me the Ryu version, and I was keeping my fingers crossed they'd just be like, keep the Ryu one, we'll send you the Chun-Li one later. But nah, they made me. If I wanted Chun-Li, I had to send Ryu back.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that's okay. Like she's beautiful though. She's beautiful.
Ooh, that is nice. I like that. I've had it happen with Amazon, which I didn't feel too bad with Amazon anyway. I actually had it happen twice with Amazon. So
yeah, I mean that just means Bezos only gets to buy one extra robot dog, right? So it's okay.
Yeah. I ordered the Dark Knight collection on Blu-ray. I was like, all right, all three on Blu-ray. That's great. It was like $15. You couldn't beat that price for all three of them. So I'm waiting. It says it's delivered. I'm like, yeah, I never got it. Like, I don't have it. They're like, okay, well, do you want your money back or we ship? I was like, no, ship me out another one because I'll never find it at $15 again. Like, no, ship me out another one. So they ship me out another one. I get it. The next day, guess what shows up? The initial first one.
Right.
I'm like,
I bet you like something just fell. It fell off a conveyor belt and it was just sitting on the floor for like a week.
No, it was probably already in the mail, and the mail person forgot to deliver it and said it was delivered. That's the only thing I can assume that happened. Like they said they marked it for delivery, but they didn't deliver it. I'm like, all right, cool. So now I got two. My mom was like, "Well, I'll take the other one for it." Dad, come on, can't have nothing around here. But then I
Hey,
did
mom's like
that
that, man,
too,
too.
like with it. Exactly, like she's like, "Oh, you don't need that." Like, but and I
Next,
did
you're
that
gonna
with
tell us
a
how much you like Age of Apocalypse, right?
no, never, never,
Oh, come
never,
on. It's got Joe Mad
never,
art. It's got
ever.
old Joe Mad art. You don't like that?
Look, I love Joe Mad. I support Joe Mad, but not in that way, not AOA way. I bought
Okay.
Battle Chasers the game. That was a great game. I love that RPG game. That was amazing. But yeah. Don says if you could charge people for extra stuff they didn't order, companies could just send people stuff and force them to pay.
Oh wow,
Like
yeah.
those rappers
Actually, yeah.
with CDs in the city. Yeah, that is true. I mean, only thing they'll probably do is block people. They'll block the people who didn't send it back.
Yeah, you get your account becomes blacklisted.
Yeah. So I mean, that's all they'll probably do. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but that's what they'll probably do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So, I mean, I don't know. You can try your best to force people to send the stuff back, but it's not going to happen. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a
So
question.
John, yes.
How did you transition into Infinity Equation? I want to know your origin story.
Oh shoot. Man, I've I've had figures since I was like a kid. I had this DC superpowers. So I had like the Batmobile, the Hall of Justice, which I still have today.
Mm-hmm.
The Castle of Lions from Voltron, still have that as of today. Uh, so I had those. So as a kid, I was like, I loved them. Like those were my favorite things to play with at Voltron. Now this will age me. I had the big metal Voltron that they came out with back in the 80s.
The metal
Yeah.
one?
So I don't know if you.
Okay.
Yes, the heavy, like that heavy metal one. Like if you dropped it on your toes, they
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
done.
The one where you could murder your siblings with if you threw it at their face. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was for me as a kid. As I kind of grew older, it wasn't so much toys; it was more like comics at that point, and then trading cards.
Oh, trading cards.
And
Are you still buying
then
trading cards?
every once in a while, depends on what it
Okay.
is. Like I haven't bought any recently.
Okay.
I
You
know.
heard about Topps getting it from Upper Deck, right? From
Yes.
Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. I wait to see what Topps is going to do. I'm really interested to see what Topps does with the Marvel trading cards now. But yeah, it was like so. And after a while, it was like I kind of stopped buying figures at that point, stopped getting them, and it was more me just like drawing stuff and getting more comics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like when I graduated high school, and that's when I kind of got like I was still I was buying more of the DC Direct stuff. I was like, oh, these are only DC figures out there that I really
Mm-hmm.
love. I wasn't into the Marvel Legends Toy Biz figures. That wasn't like they didn't really appeal to me at that point. And then like kind of watching, I started watching YouTube, and it was Book Nice that got me into like back into collecting, watching his
Did you say Boogie
videos.
Nights?
John Connor, Book Nice, Boog from Articulate
Oh,
Comic Book Art.
oh, is that like is that the guy who's got a lot of money problems right now?
No, no,
No, no,
mm-mm,
I'm thinking of Boogie
no.
and then a number. I'm thinking of Boogie and a number. Yeah, that's a different.
Oh, okay,
Story.
yeah, no. That's probably somebody different. No, it was Book Nice and John Connor, um, who got me back into collecting. Those two guys who kind of like I was like, yo, all right, I'm going full force back into this. And I was buying up stuff. I had like I was buying a lot of DC Universe figures. I think I have like most of them. I'm still missing a
Are
couple
these
of the
are the
backs.
Mattel ones, right, for the DC universe?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So and I even went in on their subscription base as well too. So I was like, all
Ah,
right,
so you gave the toy guru your hard-earned money then. Mm.
yes, I did. because I want there was figures I wanted. I was like, yo, I want that figures. I want that character. I want that. So if I got to put money into this to get this character, well, so be it. There's one point I had like 2 subscriptions going at one time. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll just keep one on ice and I'll have the other one available for me just to keep in my collection. So later on, if I wanted to sell it, I could just sell it off.
So how does it work with those subscription models where like if there was a character that had army building potential, would there be a way outside of creating a second account or buying it off someone else? Like could you get 6 whatever PUD guy if you wanted it?
No.
Okay,
So if you had like 6 subscriptions, you would get 6 of that character. That's
the only way to do it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you would have to buy like from third party, like eBay or somewhere else.
I feel so bad for all those Masters of the Universe Classics guys if they wanted all those Horde Troopers,
Yep. But it was funny enough that I was able to get. So I don't know if you remember like the Legion of Superheroes that they did that big box set.
No.
So they did a big box set. It was like Legion of Superheroes. So it was like it folded into itself into like it was an octagon. I forget what shape it was. Like it was like one of the multi ones. But the box folded in. Exactly, almost like a D20 dice. But you open it up, and it had all the Legion of Superheroes figures in there. And like the funny joke was for it is like, oh, you're getting 12 figures, but you only really got 11 figures because Invisible Man was just a plastic. It was just a plastic case in there. That was it. It wasn't no actual figure in there. So it's just like the plastic holding, like for the where the figure would be at. It was just that.
Yeah.
And then you got the tray. Thank you. Yeah. And then you got the Legion of Superheroes ring in there. So I bought 2 of those. I sold my other one for like $400. And I was like,
and it cost you what?
I'm up. And they got me a bunch of other figures from like this one guy I used to buy from. Was like, yeah, let me get all these figures. Like, get that, let me get that, let me get that, let me get that. I was buying like the Bash. Like that's how I got my Ares. Built my first Ares build a figure. But yeah, that's kind of like how I got back into it. And then I started when I was with the Black Tribbles. They were
what exactly is that?
To, like, kind of, what's that?
The Black Tribbles. I've seen that in like I've seen those words whenever I scrolled your stuff in the past. I don't know what it is though.
So they had a radio show that they would do in Philadelphia. And it was a live radio show at that point. They had broadcast in, and it was just like for like that Afrofuturism kind of geekdom. So it's like whatever like would kind of float your boat, like in geekdom, like maybe science or comics or something into that nerdy kind of realm. So I got hired on as like they're kind of like their intern base to help set up their streaming stuff. And they were looking for other stuff to kind of like branch out to. I was like, look, I got an idea for like doing a podcast about toys. They were like, all right, dope. So, and that's how this kind of came out of that. And then this how this came big.
So was Infinity Equation part of that originally?
It was part of that.
Okay.
Well, we stopped, like the Black Triple stopped doing what they did, like after we did after we tried to break the Guinness World Record for longest rated like podcast. So we didn't make it, unfortunately. But yeah, so after that, that's when this show this kind of kept going after we stopped that the Black Triples were done. So that was it.
And then when it was Infinity Equation, was it just you at first, or did you always have like I remember in the past it was always like 4 of you guys when I first started, right?
So when it first started, it was me, Randy, and a friend of his, I think his name was Chris, and Todd. Rectangular.
These are people. Okay, I saw Rectangular when I first started with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after a while, it was just me, and then it was Randy sometimes, and then it would be Todd, and then Ryan, and then it was me, Bobby, and then Ryan, and then Todd. and then Todd left, and then it was Alex after that,
Yeah, I miss Alex.
and then yeah, what was it? And then after that, it was after Bobby
And then
left, it was
Tim,
just
right?
me, Ryan, Alex. Yeah, and then after Ryan left, it was me and Alex, and then after Alex, I said it was Tim and Action Figure Skinny, and then that was it, and it's just me.
I'm sad I never met Action Figures Kitty because he's in the Montreal area, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
I do Montreal Comic Con, and I was like, after I started, I was hoping he would just like stumble in front of me because like he's a distinct enough looking fellow that I'd be like, if he walked in front of my tables, like I probably know who you were.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't met. Like he hasn't. I had to hit him up and tell him actually see if he's been to there or why he hasn't gone there or not. Yeah,
I mean, in
that's
many
weird.
cases,
That is
like
really weird.
a lot of these cons, it's as a toy collector, unless it's kind of hard sometimes because like you have to filter through like 5 Funko vendors first and then see what toys are out there. I don't know. It feels that way.
You see that,
Like it's either it's a gold mine or it's just like, eh.
right? And that's what I like about kind of like about New York Comic Con because everything's split because you have Artist Alley downstairs and then upstairs is like all the vendors, which is nice. So I was like, all right, if I need a break, I'll just go down to Artist Alley. Like this is like too much right now. And I like going down Artist Alley because it's so much fun. You get to meet people, you get to talk to artists,
Yeah,
like one-on-one, some of your favorite artists, like you get to see
yeah,
and just like have that one-on-one conversation.
yeah.
And it's just nice. And most times it's not even a line in front of them. It's like, hey, what's going on? Like, oh man, I've been waiting to get your art. So yeah, that I always like that. To me, it's always more personal at that point.
Yeah. Like I know with like people that you've associated with, like one I would like to meet at a con is David. Is it David Nakayama?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who's done a lot of packaging for Hasbro. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I love that his stuff is so versatile and so clean, but it's still distinct. It doesn't look generic. Whereas a lot of people, when they have too much
Exactly.
polish, it's very generic. Because like I remember like
Yeah.
his Flair X-Men subset, his Psylocke for that set, so good, so good.
Yeah, David has come up. It's wild how fast David has come up in the art world. Like, because I remember when he was just like in Artist Alley, and now he's like upstairs with the vendors. Now I'm like, damn,
Mm-mm.
damn, David, you just moving on up, man. Look at you, look at you.
No, New York is one I
But
definitely
yeah,
would like to do one day. I really would like to get into that one.
I would love to see you in New York. I know it's like super expensive there for like getting a table, but
Actually,
yeah,
to
if
tell
you
you the truth,
can,
I'm not sure. Like, so I have a friend in California that does the U.S. stuff for me,
mhm.
and like the concern is not like outside of the application process and how they select. We're not sure yet, but the booth is actually the least of my concerns. The concern is like how much a flights and hotels going to cost during that weekend.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because those hotels get pretty expensive. Yeah,
yeah.
whew,
No, and then especially
you have
since
to book
coming
it.
after 2020, like the major cities for me. Okay, so for example, like Fan Expo Canada, the one I'm trying to go do one day. When
Right.
I did my first Fan Expo Canada, I remember paying $800 Canadian for
Mhm.
a hotel that was within 50-minute walk of the Metro Convention Center.
Okay, that's not bad.
After the pandemic, the cheapest thing we could find was $3,000.
What?
Yeah. So it was funny because one of my buddies that I do a lot of traveling with, he was just like, well, what if we get an Airbnb in one of the surrounding areas? I rent a car and then we just drive in every morning, drive back to the Airbnb every night. And when he did the math on that, he was like, crap, I maybe saved $200 and now I have to park a car in downtown Toronto. Screw this. Let's just get that hotel.
Yeah, wow. Because like, so they do Fan Expo here in Philly, and I've
Mhm.
been to that one. So I don't know what's it like for that one in Canada because it's actually like gotten a lot better than what it was before when it first
Okay.
started.
Okay.
But I don't know how it is in like other they kind of have it in other states and over in Canada. So I'm just curious, what's it like in Canada for that?
To tell you the truth, I'm not quite sure how to relate, and I don't know if I can give you a good answer because mine's a very skewed perspective. Because
Right.
you're going all over the place trying to find things, be it buying toys or photo ops, meet artists, go to panels. Whereas I'm very much just I'm here, right? I'm at my booth. The only
Gotcha.
time I leave is to go to the bathroom. That's the only time I leave, during show hours. So my perspective of the hall is try to show up by 9:30 so that I can see what's actually out here before the floor opens for the day, that kind of thing.
Right.
And then half of the time, like their staff are not there. So like if I want to buy something, I can't because no one's working at the booth right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I compare it. So like Fan Expo, I kind of compare it to like what Wizard World used to be. So and that's how
For
I
fan,
kind of like.
okay. Well, it'll be. I mean, all the fan expos are owned by the same company, but they do feel
Right.
different in Canada from city to city. So like Calgary and Toronto have very distinct feels. And then when you do Vancouver and Edmonton, like Edmonton, it's very obvious this is a smaller area, right? So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I was really curious how it works up there because for them like for Fan Expo because I know here it's like when they first started in Philly it was kind of like okay it's it's this but then like now it's gotten a little bit bigger it's grown
Hmm.
it's getting more vendors in it's getting more artists in and
Hmm.
it seemed like it's gotten a lot better than what it was before and it's
Right.
a
It
little
probably
bit more
does. Yeah.
nicer yeah, I think it could use a little. It still has room to grow a little bit more. I'll say that
Do
because a lot
you
of
do you know
space was
what the
just used
attendance?
for.
Do you know what the attendance number is like for Philadelphia? Like, is it like a
No,
40,000 attendee show or 50,000?
I'd
Because like
probably
Fan
say
Expo
like
Canada,
50,000.
they claim it's about 100,000 people. True or not, I'm not sure, but yeah, they claim it's around 100,000.
I would I'd probably say like 20,000 maybe over the
Okay,
3 day weekend, just
okay.
because you have like so many vendors there, and then you have like this area, like they have a huge area for like where they have all the signings for like the personalities.
Mhm.
And like when I was there, like man, it's a lot of space to walk through. Like you can walk through there and it's like okay, cool. Like there's space, like there's lines. You have space for lines, so they're not getting too long and outrageous. Like you
Mhm.
have that area and then on the opposite side, you have like artists, like the artists are like on one side, and then you might have a little small another area of artists. Like I should say, like it's a section for artists, and then you have like a section for like other vendors,
Mhm.
and then it's like the main stage is over to the far left if you want to see something. So it's all crammed onto one floor, but it's spaced out pretty neatly. I think if they get bigger, they can start using multiple floors. Like, hey, here's
Okay.
Artist Alley on one floor.
Mhm.
Here's our panels on this floor and vendors on this floor. I think if they added more and could get more people to come in,
Mhm.
it'll definitely be great. It'd be
Okay.
something that would be awesome to see.
So I mean, for you as an attendee, I think like, especially just say if you hook up with Kevin, just say you get to crash at his place, or you get in touch with Action Figure Skating and he comes down from Montreal and you guys plan a big adventure out of it. Toronto is going to
Right.
be a lot bigger because like they use two buildings for it, so you actually have
Oh,
to,
really?
yeah. Like I know I'm not sure if there are multiple ways across, but you actually have to go through like a little sky bridge between the two halls if you want to hit up both halls. And then the panels
Oh,
are
wow.
all done in separate, like you know how when you see cons at like hotels, like those ballrooms, and they section them up, like the
Yeah.
panels are all done in rooms like that. And then they even have entire workshops. So like there will be people in one area actually, like they will, if you have to buy tickets for these events, I believe, but you can go build Gundam kits. uh you can go do workshops with established cosplayers, and then they'll let you cut up foam. But like I said, those panels I believe have ticket prices attached to them. So yeah.
Nice. See you, Dom. Have a good evening. That's dope. I like that. That's pretty
But yeah,
dope.
no, like I said, if you can plan a whole trip around it, with the currency conversion, you're basically getting like a 25 to 30% bonus when you convert your dollar. So you'll be eating like a king, like I said.
I hope so. I hope so. I like to eat. Like I said, I like to eat.
Yeah.
I want to eat.
No dietary restrictions,
Uh,
as far as you know.
Seafood and nuts. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Can't
Well,
eat that.
me or Kevin will make sure you get a poutine in you. Yeah.
Mecca says Fan Expo is surreal. It's huge, and if we run our Gundam room again this coming year, please stop by. Definitely, if I make it up there this year, I will definitely stop by.
Yeah. So he actually he's one of the organizers for a group called Side Six that organizes a whole bunch of So like when they do like building competitions or club meetups, like it's a big club for model builders, especially like sci-fi focus. So yeah, you get to see all the stuff he does. Like he loves building communities. So Aomeka's definitely down to give you a tour.
Huh. Gotcha. Hopefully, I'm hoping. But next year, I got a couple cons planned out, so I don't know what's looking like right now.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're hoping to hit up San Diego.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for San Diego next year because I would love to definitely try to get out there. Yes, man. Thank you, Mecca. I would definitely check you guys out. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here. So, Johnny, tell the fine folks where they can find you at on the social webs.
So I'm mostly just posting on Facebook and Instagram. So if you just look up my name, Johnni Kok, add the word art to that, you'll see what I'm up to. I'm right now in production mode for the new stuff for next year. And yeah, follow my stories. You get to see pictures of my dog every once in a while. Or if I get a new vinyl toy, I'll usually have a selfie on there in the stories. Me doing a stupid face holding it next to my head. Yeah. Which I'll probably be doing soon since these turtles came in.
Look, that dog is a precious natural treasure, sir. Don't you put that dog down. That dog's a national treasure.
No, Mercy is my baby. She literally rescued me when I first got her. So yeah.
See, here you go. That's what I like to hear, man. She's so beautiful. She doesn't look like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, like you melt my heart. You melt my heart.
It's really funny because like she tends to be very hesitant with strangers, with the exception of like two people I know of. And I think the joke was when I went to see her, like she immediately ran up to me, jumped on my leg, and let me pick her up. And my joke is, the last time she let someone pick her up, they took her home. So that's why she's not letting anyone else she doesn't know pick her up now.
Well, that's a good dog then. The dog's like, hey, look, I know where my home's at. I don't need, don't pick me up, don't touch me. I'm good. Good. It's a good house. We get good food here. But thank you, Johnny, for joining me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. It's been my pleasure.
Fun.
And I want to say thank you for putting on the show. Like I said, during the time I discovered you guys, you were part of my social outlet, right? When I had to stay home. So I really appreciate it, Dante.
You're welcome. Anytime. Please don't forget to check out the sponsor, Erlen's Munchies, as you see scrolling at the bottom. Use code Infinity10 to get a discount on your coffee. Because if you're a coffee lover, you get some good flavors from them. It's delicious. I drink their coffee. It's very wonderful. So hopefully Sunday, I'll be putting out the video for a comparison of this Mofex. It's like super bright. This Mofex cat. This is a dope figure. If you haven't grabbed this, I suggest you do grab this.
Oh, so speaking about Captain America, you know what I want them to make?
What's that?
I want them to make an action figure line that's stylized like the Bengus art for Marvel vs. Capcom.
Which one though? Which Marvel's Capcom down?
I mean, didn't they all share the same sprites until 3? Like 1, 2, and then all the other Marvel superhero games? I thought they shared the same sprites.
Well, it was a different one for Marvel's Capcom Infinite.
Oh no, I'm thinking about the sprite-based ones. So like 1 and 2.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
because like I would love to. Yeah, I would love a toy of that Sentinel and that Venom. Ooh,
Rocky punch.
yeah,
Rocky punch.
exactly.
Rocky kick.
Yeah. No. Oh, that'd be dope. That would be dope.
Come
All
on,
right,
Astro, make it
folks.
so.
Y'all have yeah. There you go. All right, folks. We'll have a great and safe weekend. If you're at the New Jersey Collectors Con tomorrow, I will be out there. If you see me, say hello. If you're just chilling this weekend, have a good one. And have a good holiday weekend coming up. And be safe and just enjoy time with the fam. You know, just be thankful for what you got,
Yeah.
what you have already. You know,
Hmm.
because some people don't have a lot right now, and it's tough out here. Greg says, Johnny, really cool to see and learn about your work tonight, plus all the fun topic bantering. So that's to you, John.
I mean, bantering's the best part.
All right,
I'm
folks.
actually
Have a
surprised we
good.
talked so much about Gundams.
Yeah, look, it very rarely happens on here. Like, there's very few people coming here and like can talk about Gundam. So it was fun. It was
All right,
enjoyable.
cool.
I haven't talked about Gundams in a while. But
Uh,
everybody, stay safe. What's up?
oh no, go ahead.
Okay. All right, everybody, stay safe. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Talk to you later.